This week there was much trouble on the world stage as it was discovered that the Russians were found to have an espionage operation in London at the levels of the old Cold War. The Chinese army were reported to have attempted to hack into the Pentagon's computers, and Iran was seen to be funding and arming the insurgents that our boys are up against in Iraq. And everyone is battling everyone else in the International Steroid Championship, known as the Rugby World Cup. And Prince Harry was in fighting mood as he emerged from a flat on Top People's Thoroughfare, the King's Road, to see a photographer waiting for him, and promised to punch him in the face. He said, "Come and have a go if one thinks one's hard enough." To which the paparazzo replied, "Oh yeah, you and whose army?" Well, that would be the Household Cavalry Blues and Royals Regiment Cushy Desk Job Squadron. And Osama bin Laden released another tape explaining that he's still really quite cross with us, what with our saggy jeans and our mocha lattes. He's been living on the run for the past 10 years, but still made time to pop into the local stylist to get his beard dyed black. He said, "I'd like some off the bottom, and can you make me look a little less insane?" I think it suits him. Takes the attention away from his mad, staring eyes. If only he'd do something about those shapeless robes. He could do with a full Kate Moss makeover. I can see him in something clingy. Come on, O.C. You've got lovely shoulders, boy. Show 'em off, show 'em off. Hey. Hello, Luz. Hello,
Nick.
Alex. I'm wearing your shirt.
Can we see the bag?
Yes, okay. Not going to make much difference. There you go.
I like the back bit.
Yeah, me too.
It's
The back
cooler
bit's my
writing.
favourite. On the front it says, "I'm tired of always being so right."
I didn't think you'd want that so big, because it might be a bit embarrassing.
And on the back, in much larger letters that look like a 1970s font, it says, well, I might as well have the man say it himself.
Be polite!
Be polite, it says.
Be polite!
Quite
Ooh.
right too.
Well, that was a bit boosted, wasn't it, that one?
So whose idea was be polite?
Well, the whole T-shirt was both of our ideas.
Oh, a collaborative effort.
Yeah, we thought, what's the two main favourite sayings?
And
that will
our
make a good-
favourites as
yeah,
well.
our favourites. And that what make a good T-shirt.
And it's in a lovely colour too, sky blue.
I think Luce chose that.
Oh.
That's my bit.
Well, I'm very pleased. And it fits.
Yeah, it does, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So is this going to be a radio top from now on?
It'll be Radio Top Shop.
Very good.
They used to have a radio in Top Shop, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Because they used to have DJs there, didn't
Hey,
they?
DJ, okay!
Well, loads of shops have their own radio services now,
yeah,
don't
well,
they?
they used...
They don't now,
They used to
do
have
they?
individually. I think the record chains used to have DJs in the individual shops, but then it was they fired everyone and made it all from the centre, such that every shop has the same thing. You know, they'll have one little bloke in the Oxford Street branch, which broadcasts to 100 shops up and down the country. I was one of those blokes. It was very enjoyable. I used to treat the entire record shop until it was until they formatted it.
Yeah.
They realised that actually we're not selling the records that he's playing. We must only stick with what we've got in the window. Basically, is what they thought.
So, was it a clothes shop? You weren't in a clothes shop?
No,
you
it was
were
in,
a music shop.
It was in a record store that begins with V and ends in
Right.
Urgin.
Gosh, I wonder what that could have been. Because I think it would be great to be in one of the clothes one, and you could just be really abusive to all the people walking
Yeah,
around.
there'd be cameras in the changing rooms, and you'd be commenting on people.
Oh,
trying to
look at your arse.
Trying to squeeze into something that's far too small. Yeah. No, it used to be great because before, as I said, it was formatted. It was almost like what I imagine working on a radio station in, say, San Francisco in the 1970s was. It was free form. I treated the record store as the world's biggest record library. I'd be playing something by, I don't know, Led Zeppelin, and I think, wow, you know what would sound really great after this? Bo Diddley. And I'd rush out to the blues section and grab Bo Diddley and run back with it while Kashmir was still playing. It was great. I loved it.
It was your own little disco. Little party for you all day long.
That's right. And then I learned how to mix house music. And I'd do some sets for the kids.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was groovy, baby.
It sounds it.
So, autumn is here.
Well, yeah. I bet I know what you're going to say.
What?
About the Indian summer disappearing.
Well, no, actually, it's been a delight, September, so far.
Yeah.
I've been out and done summer things. As soon as and I've said this all along, and I'm absolutely right about this, summer will come and go, and you won't have done one summery thing the whole season. So as soon as the weather is even remotely pleasant, you must throw your hands in the air and run screaming outside and do something. Take yourself a little picnic loose.
I haven't done a picnic all summer, I don't think.
Oh, I've done loads.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done one. I've done a few.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm surprised at you.
Well, I've always got the dog there, and the dog would eat the food, so that's no fun.
Just say no. Just point your finger in its face and say no.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're one of those parents, aren't you?
No, I do, but he's one of those dogs that doesn't take a blind bit of notice of what
Right,
I
well,
say.
then you have to be one of those owners who is more strict.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but...
well, he has been off to puppy class, as you
Well,
know.
good grief. Is that the... Alex, honestly, is that the most middle-class thing you've ever heard? Puppy
Is
classes?
it actually called puppy class as well?
There was puppy class, and then he should have moved up to big class, but because he's had all his food problems, he's not allowed to go, because he's not allowed the liver. So, you know... I do try my best. He'll do sit and stay,
Yeah.
and he'll do down.
Well, he'll do sit and stay as long as he's sitting or staying at the time.
Well, as long as there's an incentive at the end of it, I've
Right.
found. If he's in the park and I want him to come back to go on his lead,
Yeah.
not a chance.
Right. Well, you're failing in this respect, then.
Yes.
Yes.
I put my hands up, I'm failing. But trying.
Yes, you are trying. No question about that. We can agree on that, can't we, Alex?
100%. You need to get yourself some... What was the crazy dog lady? Was it
Oh,
Barbara
the
Woodhouse?
woman who said sit.
Yeah.
In much the same way as he says... Be polite! Be polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that crazy woman who said sit, and she'd bring her hand up?
I think it was
Some
Barbara Woodhouse, was it?
Mad old bat. Barbara Woodhouse.
But she's no longer around.
With us, no.
Maybe she's
No.
got some DVDs or something you can...
Yeah.
No, there's
Learn
another.
from.
There's
Bound
another
to.
program. It's Me or the Dog. That lady's very good, but that's normally with people who have dogs that are just so unruly it's unbelievable.
Right.
So luckily, I'm not in that position.
Well, does it leave presents all over the house for you? Does it chew the furniture and
No.
not do anything that you say?
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
It's
he's
a yes.
He's a good boy.
Right.
No more parcels. That stopped.
Either
thank
him,
goodness.
or your husband.
Well, the dog's good.
Still some work to be done on the husband.
Yeah.
Right. No, I had a couple of delightful days this week. One of which was in Hyde Park. They put up the new pavilion just outside the Serpentine in Hyde Park. Everyone should go. It's very, very good. They serve the world's best chocolate muffin in it.
So did you take a picnic hamper with
Yeah.
you?
Well, no, I took nothing with me and bought everything at the food halls in a top person's shop nearby.
Oh, did you go to that new place?
Which one?
So were
Oh,
you by
opposite.
High Street Ken?
No, Brompton Road.
Brompton. Ah, okay.
There's a big, giant
Oh.
shop with lights on the outside.
Yes, I know the one.
Yeah.
Begins with an H.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Super darlings.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Take
That's
an
a
egg.
pricey picnic, isn't it?
Well, not really. I mean, if you went to have lunch, it would cost much less.
Well, yeah.
So you're eating out, in
What
fact.
did you have in your picnic?
All manner of things. We had some of those Chinese dumpling things with dipping sauce. And
what are they called? Dim sum.
monkfish and prawn mousse on a skewer.
That sounds lush.
Yeah, and crayfish and mango salad.
Oh, I love.
I mean, all of these things that you would never think of doing yourself.
No.
And prawn something or other else, and meat what's-its, and just
Oh, you had lovely food.
on and on and on it went. Yeah,
Wow. And I suppose, yes. So that, you could have spent, what, a good 20 quid, say?
yeah, easily. Like if you went to have lunch out, even if it was cheap out, it would be 30 quid, right? Well,
Yeah.
go and spend 30 quid and go and have it on a picnic blanket.
Yeah, have wonderful food.
That's approximately as middle class as taking a dog to puppy school.
I would say that's even more than, especially
Right.
considering the shop you purchased it all from.
But no, the pavilion outside the Serpentine, everyone should go because every year they get a leading cutting-edge architect to put up basically a room with wacky surroundings. I mean, there's precious few modern modern buildings. There's precious little modern architecture in London, and there, because it's temporary, because they'll take it down eventually. The council relented and said, "Oh, all right then, it is an art gallery, I suppose." I mean, we would rather it looked like a Palladian villa, you know, some pastiche or something that's gone before. But oh, go on, knock yourself out. As long as we can come and knock it down later. And so every year they do have this extraordinary thing, and there it is right there. It looks like what do they call them? A helter-skelter? You know those old fairground rides where you climb to the top and then you whiz all the way down?
Yes.
It looks like one of those, with a big room on the inside, where they, as I say, serve the world's most delicious chocolate muffin, which is like, it's the treat. You do your little bit of art, and you'll be going around going, boring! But you get a treat at the end, Luce.
So it makes it okay.
Yeah. Anyway, autumn is here. Bumper apple crops, falling leaves, and conkers. Autumn is clearly upon us, and it's 2 weeks early, it's say in the newspaper. They were saying that about spring as well, weren't they? And summer, in fact. 2 weeks early, at least, they said. In fact, I can remember in December of last year, the daffs were out. Remember that?
Yeah.
All of nature has gone completely crazy.
Except it still feels to me like summer's actually late.
Yeah.
Like, hasn't arrived. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Just skipped it. I think.
I don't really mean as
It
far
didn't really
as
come to the
the
boil,
crops.
did it? It's just been on a low simmer for,
Like, we haven't had a real, like...
No.
I feel like I need at least a few really scorching days to
Right,
go...
where are you going to go?
Okay.
Spain? Thailand? Oh, that sounds lovely.
No, just here would be great, because actually I think there's nothing better than this country when it's really baking for a
Right.
few
Dude,
days.
can I call you dude? It's,
I'm not sure about that.
it's not going to happen. It's September. You're not going to get 90 degrees in September. It won't nudge 100 now.
Sad, though, isn't it?
Very, yeah, I'm very upset. I feel shortchanged. I cleaned all of the garden furniture,
Yeah.
sprayed it all down,
What a waste.
sanded it. Well, I didn't sand it, but I sprayed it down with the...
You cleaned it.
Yeah, with a hose, and then varnished it, and that took forever.
Oh, the varnishing. Yeah, did you actually varnish it, or did you buy that special oil?
Well, yeah, oil,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. I oiled it.
Teak oil.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I still haven't done mine.
Well, it takes
I bought
forever
it
because garden furniture comes with slats. I mean, if it was just one flat table, for instance, that's easy. You just slap it all on. But it comes with
Holes.
slats so that the rain can fall through, right? Well, that's a nightmare to paint. It took forever. It took most of May. I've barely used it yet. In fact, in order to get more use out of it, I'm actually going to go and buy heated blankets.
What?
You remember heated blankets that you used to have over when you went to stay with your granny? She always had a heated
So your
blanket.
knee?
Yeah.
Like tartan ones.
You know, electric blankets.
Oh, I loved my electric blanket
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Because
On
we,
the
didn't have-
beds?
we didn't have any heat in our house. But I had an electric blanket, and I just stick it on about 5 minutes before bed and leap in to
Yeah.
toast or be electrocuted.
Oh, that's not quite the right. It's not quite the right tune. No.
Was it when Alex said he was leaping into bed?
Well, it takes the damp off your bed in a house that doesn't have any central heating because it feels as though your bed's got damp like a swimming
Oh, it's
pool.
horrible
You just
feeling.
dive straight in and then the mould creeps all over you like a
don't.
blanket.
Oh, I did that for ages with no heating. And I used to put hot water bottles. I bought about 4, and I
Yeah.
scattered them all around the bed as well as the electric blanket. So my room was really toasty.
You scattered them around the bed.
Yeah, so that everywhere I moved a bit of my limbs, it was warm underneath me, because I hated that damp feeling so much.
But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go buy some electric blankets so that I can sit out and watch the stars.
I didn't know you could still get them.
Yeah,
you
you
put-
can.
You're not
yeah.
supposed to put them outdoors, though, are you?
Well, I'm not going to sit out in the rain.
Put a bag over your head.
Do you not
fool.
think you'll feel a little foolish?
No,
sitting
not
on
at
an
all. I will feel
electric
toasty warm. Thanks for asking.
What about a little chimney?
I'm doing a show at the moment, Luce. We'll do that later on. All right. Can you believe it? Hey, Luce.
Want to score some pot?
Not right now. No, I'm working. A chimney. You and your drug references. I've got no idea what you're talking
I've
about.
got a little chimney at home.
Is it a chimney?
No, it's a chimney, you know.
No, I haven't got a garden. I've got a balcony.
Oh.
You can't put a roaring flame on a balcony.
No,
There's-
you can't.
Barbecues as much as I can get away with.
Okay,
No.
you sit with your electric blanket.
Yeah, I'm going to sit under my electric blanket and I'll have the and I don't care if it is going to burn a hole in the sky. I'm going to sit under the
Have you got one of those
patio
burners?
heater.
Have
Yeah.
you, a table one have you got?
No, it's standy uppy one. Yeah.
one. Yeah. Oh.
So that the top of my head doesn't get cold.
Because that's very important when
Well,
you're
yeah.
outdoors.
I mean, if you've got a blanket all over you and up to your neck is toasty warm, but your face and your ears and your head is cold, well, what's the point of that?
Just get a balaclava.
Well, yeah, I could do that, but they're scratchy and I don't like them. Don't like it.
Then
You
again,
can scare your neighbours.
if it is that cold, should we not just be inside?
Cornish militants have moved in. Shouldn't you just be inside? What kind of defeative talk is that?
Well,
Defeatist talk is that?
if we're going to great lengths to keep
Yes.
ourselves warm outside because it's
Yeah.
so cold, does it not seem a little daft?
Well, it's a little daft to be living in this country at all. It's so cold. And so what we did was we surrounded ourselves with bricks and then put central heating in and nailed a TV to the wall. None of that comes with nature either.
No.
That wasn't the kind of talk that turned the map pink, Lucy.
It was just a thought. I was just trying to do my bit.
Weak yellow commie talk, that is. This is LBC.
There follows an adaptation of the Lewis Carroll.
Thank you. Do you like me?
Anyway, back to autumn. It's a couple of weeks early. The whole of the planet has gone ski-whiff. And experts have long been forecasting an early end to the summer, and it appears that their predictions are correct. Now, this was at the beginning of the week, and of course, their predictions are now incorrect because the summer seems to be making like a final burst, doesn't it?
Final try.
Yeah. This next week, I'm telling you, it might be the absolute last time it's nice until, well, who knows, June, July, August.
No.
Yes. So if you have any spare moments and it's pleasant outside, you must rush out straight away. You will do it, won't you?
I do.
It is just over. You could do it on a Friday. Apparently, no one works on a Friday. I was going to clip that out, but days of the week, Friday is the least productive day of the week. We work something like an average of 5.25 hours on a Friday.
Really?
Isn't that terrible?
I don't start work till 6 p.m. though.
What?
Well, because I work in the evening,
Oh, right.
so I probably work harder than most people on a Friday.
I see. And we're calling that work. What
No,
you
I've
do, are
seen
we?
you at 6 p.m, Lucy. I wouldn't call that work.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, Tuesday, the most productive, apparently. We work almost 6 hours on a Tuesday. What are we doing for the... I suppose you get in at 9. It's so long since I did a proper job, I can barely remember. You get in at 9, you scratch yourself, you make a phone call, you...
Have a coffee.
Yeah, you have a coffee, you moan about, oh, someone's using my mug. Don't you? Oh, you didn't get the milk, there's no milk. You know, like moaning, office moaning like that. Everyone's got their little office politics going, because it's the only thing that's in your life. You go in there and you have a moan, and you have a little, about whoever it is that's taken your fancy in the office. That's true, isn't it? And that takes at least an hour in the morning before you're ready to work. So you get in at 9, you start at 10, and then you take an hour off for lunch, and so that's about right, 6 hours a day.
God, I wish my day was like that.
Do you?
Well, that sounds very leisurely, doesn't it?
Well-
a very self-indulgent day at work, and the people are getting paid for doing that.
Here's my day on. Here's my Tuesday and Friday. I get up at sort of 8, crack of 8, and have breakfast watching TV. Then I'll have my happy morning sit down.
Why do you have to tell me that? I don't want to know about
It's
that.
the most important moment of the day.
Oh,
The day's
no.
not started without it.
Oh, dear.
And then I'll like tool around on the internet for a little while and, you know, look at who's killed who.
Yeah.
And then think about having second breakfast. And then it's time for a nap.
What time is it by now?
It's about midday.
God, you've taken ages.
I know, I've got no idea where the time goes.
What are you doing with yourself?
No clue, no idea.
Dear, dear.
I'll look at the crossword from last night and, you know, try and get my mind.
See if you can get that last one you couldn't get.
Very
Yeah.
annoying, yeah. Oh, there's some of those that I get, and I'm so utterly pleased with myself. I want to run around and tell everyone. There There was one that was something like 4 letters. Hungry boy with a burden. 4 letters.
Hungry
And I got
boy.
it. I cannot believe it.
What was it?
Load.
Oh, yes. Oh,
What do you mean, oh, yes?
well, that sounds quite easy then, doesn't it?
Well, you
When say the
explain it
answer.
then.
Hungry boy with a burden.
With a burden, yeah.
Well, if he's carrying a burden, that's a load.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's another twist on it.
Well, a boy is a lad, and a hungry boy is one with nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
So lad with a 0 is load, and load is burden.
Very good. Did you whoop and cheer yourself?
I did, yeah, mentally. See, we crossword addicts. We don't. There's no external.
Maybe we should play one each week.
Oh
You can teach
yeah,
me.
that'll be really great on the radio. Yeah.
Boring!
My mum keeps trying to make me learn to do them. Every time I go around, she goes, "Right, let's do the crossword now."
Yeah, you have
and
to
I
do
say,
it.
I don't want to
You'll
do
get
it.
addicted really quickly. Not the easy ones, the cryptic ones. The ones that will actually get your brain working.
Well, she keeps trying to make me work it out.
Yeah.
Like you just did then.
Well, that's exactly what you have to do. You get them, and then
And write
each
things in
day,
little circles. Like write all the letters around.
if it's an anagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Each day you look back and see how they did it, and then you'll get better as it goes along, and thereby become less stupid, Lucy. It's just over a fortnight before the official start of the autumn, which traditionally begins on the equinox of September the 23rd, but already many of the signs that typify the season are here, and I think they've been here for quite a little while now. I've tried not to notice it. Out of the corner of my eye, the leaves are turning. I mean, there's no denying it now. A couple of weeks ago, you thought, oh, is it a little bit browner? The leaves seem to be rustling in the trees a bit more than they were before. They seem a bit drier. Apples are ripening at their earliest time on record, and according to growers, this season will see one of the biggest crops ever produced. Cider producers are rubbing their hands with glee. I've been drinking cider all of my adult life. And as I've said before, I'm usually met with the response, cider, what do you want to drink that for? Now, of course, everyone's drinking cider. In fact, I think cider is now beating real ale.
Is it?
Yeah, for the first time ever in sales. And it's all because somebody thought, oh, what can we do? We've had beer with a lime in it. So, and that was a huge hit. What can we do with cider? Oh, I know, we'll pour it on ice. And suddenly the sales went through the roof. Just put it on ice. Who'd have thought? Where are we? Cool, damp nights in July and August cause the fruit to ripen and redden earlier than expected, while a warmer than average April has made the crop bigger and juicier than normal. Conkers are also thought to have benefited from the wetter than normal summer, and this season is likely to be a good year for the horse chestnut tree, which seem to be absolutely laden. They are heavy with nuts.
Just think of all the conker games you can play now.
No, you can't play conker games. Councils
Not allowed.
all over the land will be rushing to put cones around conker trees in case
Too
anyone gets the
dangerous.
wrong idea. Yeah. This autumn is going to be a fantastic year for conkers, it's say here. Weather experts said that the temperature was likely to cool significantly over the next few weeks as summer officially comes to an end. Sarah from the Met Office said the forecast is settled for the next few days, but it won't last long. The next few weeks are likely to bring conditions far more typical of autumn as the temperatures drop and the nights begin to draw in. And there's no doubt about it. It wasn't just darker tonight at 9. It was dark. It comes so quickly.
Yeah, well, it's nearly dark before 8 now.
It's just too depressing.
I know.
Isn't it?
I know. But it's true. It's horrible. I hate it. Luckily, I don't get up too early in the morning, and nor do you, so you're not seeing it dark in the morning.
Yes.
It's one bonus. Imagine if you're somebody who works very early. I'll shut up now.
Ha ha, we say.
What's that little...
I'm listening, dear. You can talk to me.
Oh, better late than never, right?
Your own time.
Yes. Did you hear about this girl who put her feet on the seats and was subjected to the full majesty of the law?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think about that?
Well, I thought it was quite harsh,
Oh, God, here we go.
but I was pleased to hear that she didn't ultimately get in a huge amount of trouble. It ended up being a bit of a scare, really, didn't it?
I don't know how it came out.
It has, I think she paid a fine and that was it in the end.
Right.
But it wasn't too excessive. But she was about to get in an enormous amount of trouble, wasn't she?
Yeah, good.
Do you not think a little telling
No.
off is sufficient?
No. We should have a zero tolerance about all of this sort of stuff. Absolutely.
What, ban her from public transport?
Well, no, well, I don't know, whatever it is, but prevent people from doing it. If people, okay, let me give you the whole story. It's this a woman, and there's a picture of her with her arms folded, looking us right in the eye, going, "I didn't do nothing." I've got no idea if that's how she speaks, but that's I'm going to give her that voice. All right.
Okay.
A student is being hauled before the courts. This was, I suppose, at the beginning of the week, wasn't it? For putting her feet up on a train seat for 10 seconds. And everyone seems to have taken your view of it. Oh, it's just a lot of nothing, and she's a lovely girl, and how dare we even, wag our fingers at her. Because, anytime anybody does anything in this country, and they actually get caught for it, they're stunned. That anyone would have the temerity to upbraid them for doing anything wrong. This is why we've got ourselves in the position that we're in. Kathleen Jennings, a Cub Scout leader who also works with disabled children, was reduced to tears by the incident. This is in a news. I think it's on the front page of the Telegraph. And you see what they're doing here? They're taking her side. She's a lovely girl, really. She works with, does a lot of work for charity, and she was made to cry. Oh, boo-hoo. Even though she took her flip-flops off the seat straight away when challenged by a Merseyrail enforcement officer and apologised, she's been summoned to appear before magistrates accused of willfully interfering with the comfort or convenience of other passengers. I can't believe how biased this reporting is. You'd think that of all the newspapers, the Telegraph would be against her, but they're virtually taken around a collection.
I think she's quite a nice middle-class girl, though.
Is she?
Yeah.
Kathleen, 19, a maths student at Manchester University, said, "I was crying my eyes out." She doesn't speak like that, right?
No, I think she's Kathleen.
"I ain't never been in trouble. And I don't want a criminal record." No, she doesn't speak like that. Let me make that clear. She was facing a fine and a prosecution cost of £150 on top of solicitors' fees when she appeared before magistrates in Chester at the beginning of the week. I suppose it was. She was approached by an enforcement officer as the train in which she was travelling approached Chester. She said, "I had me feet on the seat in front of me, just the edge of my flip-flops," and that really irritates me. It just makes me go mad. My brain starts to boil. I'm on pills to calm me down.
Have you ever asked anyone to take their feet off the seat?
No.
See,
because they'll turn around and stab you.
But what if it was a girl like that with her flip-flops on? Would you say anything then?
Well, no, because she'll turn around and stab you. Girls aren't immune to overreacting to any imagined slight.
Well, but there was a girl on the bus when I got on the other day, and she was doing the same thing, but she looked actually terribly well-to-do, had loads of shopping bags with her, and she was busy texting on her phone, listening to her headphones.
Yeah, I see that too.
And I had to sit on the seat, so I was actually next to her feet, next to me.
Right.
And even though I looked at her feet, she just kept them there.
Yeah.
And
it's like, what are you looking at?
She didn't give me quite that look, but
it was. It's like, who are you to tell me what I can and can't do?
Yeah, well, it was as if to say, it's not bothering you because you've got your seat to sit on. That's how I felt about it.
Right.
So I thought, well, what...
She should have her feet removed.
But I see so many people doing it that I kind of think, well, do we carry on going on and on and on about it? People will carry on doing it anyway.
Well, this is how they cleaned up New York. Mayor Rudy Giuliani, it was him, wasn't it? And he had this crazy police chief who came up to him and said, well, you know how you're going to stop all these murders, because New York was the murder capital of the world during the 70s. You were lucky to walk down to the corner shop for a pint of milk without getting shot. And he said, well, we won't put up with anything. We won't put up with a broken window. I think it was called the broken window policy or something like that. Any broken windows will get fixed. Graffiti will be taken off immediately. You won't be able to pee in the streets like you just don't care. As in the old song by Grandmaster Flash, which is exactly what they used to do in New York. I couldn't believe it. Right in the middle of the street. In traffic.
It's revolting.
And so all of that went, and weirdly, all the bigger crimes went as well, because they were cleaning up all of the... Because basically it's all the same people doing all the same stuff, right? It's a relatively small amount of people who are committing all the crimes. And they're committing crimes from as small as writing their names on buildings to stabbing grannies for their purse. It's just the same people. And so if you stop them doing the small things, then they'll think, oh, blimey, I didn't get away with that. Well, I better not try anything bigger. Otherwise, they're really going to come down on me. And it worked. Completely. 100%. But we won't try it here because, it would be, abusing people's right of, expression. I'm expressing myself by killing people. Oh, well, you go on. we won't try to stop you, otherwise you might sue us. You know, that's the kind of mentality we've got now. Anyway, she said, I'm sorry, and I moved my feet back to the floor, and then he said that he wanted to see me when I got off the train. Like, sir, in class, saying, see me. I wouldn't have thought anything else about it. Well, he's going to see me when I get off the train. He's going to be waiting for me. In the playground afterwards. He took down her description, phone number, occupation, and even recorded what she was wearing. Merseyrail is the only company to prosecute passengers for putting their feet on the seats. 250 people have been taken to court since the scheme was launched in February. And you know what? Fewer people will do it.
Yeah,
Job
that's
done.
True. But then they need to do that on all of the transport, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because I think that's the problem. Because it's only applied on certain things, people don't take it seriously. So they just do what they like all the time, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. But we need to roll it out to everything.
But I have found one thing, in the defence of people who do it on the bus, even though I don't do it and I think people shouldn't, if you sit right at the back of the bus, they're slightly tilted, the seats, slightly forward. So when you suddenly stop, when the bus driver's like having his fun doing his emergency stops, you do kind of need to hold on to something.
Yeah.
And so I can see why someone would just keep their foot there, because it would just gives you an extra bit of balance.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can say.
You're going down.
I don't do it, though.
Let's have a mobile. I don't know who it is or where you are. Hello?
Hello, Nick.
Hello?
Hi. This is Franco. I don't normally use this mobile. That's probably why you don't know who I am or...
Rightio,
or
never
where I'm
mind.
calling
So,
from.
what's up?
I'm actually on holiday. I'm calling you from Abbot near Antibes in France.
Oh, lovely. By the seaside, is it?
It is indeed. It's lovely. It's great.
What's the weather like there?
It's been extremely hot.
We don't wish to know that.
4 days, it's actually been incredible, really good. Yeah. So I'm sorry I haven't been able to listen to your show, so I thought next best thing, give you a ring.
Right, good man. When you go on holiday, what you really want to hear is that the weather at home has been terrible. And,
I know it's
and
good.
when we're here and you go on holiday, we want to hear that you've had terrible weather. Isn't that true, though? Everybody wants everyone else to have a really bad time so that it will feel as though they're having a better one.
No, I just wanted to make sure that at least the weather's better than where I'm actually, you know...
Well, what's the temperature hitting?
Well, it's about 28, 29.
Right. Well, you're having a much better time there than we are here.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd never come home.
If only, but never mind. But then I wouldn't be able to listen to your programme, would I, Nick?
It's available on the
And-
World Wide
and
Wait, everywhere, even in France.
Well, I haven't got a laptop with me, so
Right.
never mind. But regards to Lucy as well.
Okay, she says she's waving.
Oh,
Yes,
that's fine.
I say that metaphorically. She's not really, but she's. I think she's
Well,
in there listening to Radio 3.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Right. Okay. Well, listen. Thanks for the update, mate. Enjoy.
All the best. Cheers.
Here is Bracknell. Oh, Jeffrey.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, it's Jethro Doll.
That's right, yeah. I haven't started yet, so I haven't... Do I get a boring kind of...
No.
No. Okay, that's fine then.
No, you're one of my favourite callers.
Well, that's very kind of you. I like listening to you as well, because you're quite creative with your conversational style. But you also got a personal orientation towards it that is slightly cynical, but humorous at the same time.
What?
Yeah. Don't you think?
Yeah, whatever it is you just said, yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's true, isn't it? You know, when you point out the absurdity of certain things like threatening to hang a 18, 19-year-old student because she's lazily put her feet up on the the opposite seat on a train.
Yeah.
You can justify that to a certain extent, but you also laugh at the extreme nature of the judicial process that she's just gone through.
Right. The full majesty of the law comment.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. But it goes back to Ricardo, doesn't it, and Gilbert and Sullivan, is that the punishment should fit the crime.
Yes, exactly. She should be given a vacuum cleaner and told to clean the entire train.
And promise not to do it again, ever,
Well,
ever.
if you wouldn't have to do that, because just the punishment, which would be which would fit the the crime and be suitable to what she did,
Yeah.
that's positive reinforcement right there, Lucy. You should be picking up on this, and this is what you should use by training your dog and your husband. Positive reinforcement. Make the punishment fit the crime. Giving her a fine, well, what's that going to do? It doesn't relate to what she did at all. If she were given like a brush and told to brush the dirt off all the seats in a train, well, that would be embedded in her mind forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, she would be turned into a person who would positively be asking people not to put their feet on the seats. She'd be turned around. And that's how you train people, dogs, anything. That's just how you do it. But we seem to have lost that. We don't make the punishment fit the crime. Well, a fine is nothing. I mean, it's just, I think the reason why they fine everybody for everything all the time is was blatantly obvious, isn't it? The government just wants more money. What they're doing with the money that they already have, only he knows.
And in a way, it's an easy thing to do, just to slap a fine on someone, isn't it?
It's no thought required.
Yeah.
What I came up with, sorry Jeffy, I'll get back to you in a second, but what I came up with last week, I think is a genius idea, and I will donate this to the government at no charge. If someone has one of those sort of antisocial crimes, like graffiti or feet on the seats or whatever it might be, you make the punishment the opposite of what they did, scrubbing it off the wall or cleaning the carriages or whatever. But because they won't actually do it unless you supervise them, they should be supervised at their own cost. And so they will be encouraged to do it more quickly and better, because if they don't do it well, then they're going to have to start again and do it again.
Yeah.
So it'll cost them twice as much. And so it won't cost us anything. It will get the job done and change them into a model citizen. Oh my God, I should be the Prime Minister, don't you think?
You asked for my opinion?
No.
Okay. They're quite interesting ASBOs, aren't they? Antisocial behaviour orders.
What's the point of that?
It externalises the criminal process, isn't it? It's not you that's done it wrong. You've only done it because you're being antisocial, if you see what I mean. So we have to, instead of telling you that you're what used to be called a juvenile delinquent or a youth offender, we now say that you've got an antisocial behaviour order placed upon you. So it's not a direct accusation of the individual. It's a certain externalisation of their naughtiness.
Yeah, it's something that a confederation of social workers came up with. It means nothing other than it's a badge of hardness to whoever you bestow it upon. Yeah.
And it also means they are not viewed in the eyes of their local society as malcreants the rest of their lives. If you have an order placed upon you, it can also be taken off of you. So when you become correctly behaved and a nice, upstanding citizen, you can take your full and requisite place in society, can't you? By being something like a gardener rather than a vandal.
Oh, I dream of being a gardener, me. It's the only other thing I've ever wanted to do. Outside all the time, tending to your shrubbery. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It is nice. I think it's nice because you start to understand some of the mysteries of nature, don't you?
Yeah.
I think gardeners are quite special people, if they're true gardeners.
Yeah, I would actually like to be a gardener.
What's stopping you?
Well, if the money was any better...
Oh, right.
Then, that's the only other thing, apart from being a skiing instructor, they've ever wanted to do.
I think because you want to impress all those sort of young girls that come across and want to have romantic liaisons with big, tough...
Gardeners?
No, not necessarily hard men, but they...
No, gardeners.
Pardon?
Gardeners?
No, ski instructors.
Oh.
In the chalets,
Oh, yeah, the chalets of the slopes of London, yeah.
No,
you're absolutely right there. Mm-hmm.
I think you're being deliberately awkward there.
Who, me?
Yes. Well, anyway, listen, can you remember when rather than talking about social issues, about how we should behave and what we should do and how we should interrelate with one another, which everyone seems to be obsessed about nowadays, because of PC and sociology creeping through into people's, mental conversations all the time. But I can remember when I used to go to, I don't know if you can remember this, when I used to go to cinema when I was younger, there used to be a 3-film feature. There used to be the B movie, and then between the secondary movie and the main feature, there used to be the pâté or the government news films. Remember that?
How old are you?
Quite old. They used to think, look, the Minister of Transport has come along to Paddington Station this morning to examine the new Deltic diesel engine, which is coming out of, and then...
How old are you?
Quite old.
Well, you're not that old, surely. Pathé News, that's 40s, that is.
It went on to about the 1968 at least.
Did it?
Yeah, with it, and you should get and then the curtains would go back across the cinema screen, and the lights would come up, and you get the
Chalk ice lady, yeah.
Come up and say popcorn.
That was my favourite part.
Ice cream tubs,
Yes.
Mivvies. Get your Mivvy here.
It's
Like a Mivvy, sir.
yeah, I do like a Mivvy.
Orange or strawberry flavoured.
Strawberry.
Yep, good one. It's all chemicals though.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
No good for you. But in those days, they used to celebrate British achievements. Remember, not stare at our neighbours, wondering why our society was slowly going downhill in an ever-descending vortex
of misery and death. Yeah, it used to be, yes, that's right. It used to be positive things. Somebody's just flown the Atlantic in under 20 days.
Yep.
That sort of thing, as opposed to just a list of recent deaths in your area.
QE2. The QE2 is under construction in Glasgow on the Clyde by lots of usefully employed Scottish shipbuilders.
Yes.
And the
Here's an
Queen
interview
and
with one of
Queen
them
Mother-
with subtitles for the hard of comprehending.
Yeah, and it was always a posh Oxford voice, wasn't it?
Always.
The Queen visited.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, well, but you need regional accents for the BBC nowadays.
Yeah, on television in general, yes, you do, yeah.
Otherwise, it's not. Anyway, moving on swiftly, the footy, we did all right in that, didn't we?
It was satisfactory.
It was okay. I was much to my chagrin, because I had predicted
You wanted to moan about that too?
Yeah, I can't do it now.
There's a little bit of me that wanted to do that as well, yeah.
Yeah,
But no, it was okay. I mean, the opposition wasn't of the top draw.
No, they didn't seem to come out to play seriously, did they? They didn't seem to... I don't know, I thought they were pretty...
But we did all right.
Yeah, and Steve McLaren's still in the job, which is okay.
Well, I think they've run out of everybody else, haven't they? They've tried everybody else, and they've either gone through them or nobody else wanted to do it. But Wednesday will be the big test, and we're looking forward to it with anticipation. Thanks a lot, Jeffrey.
Bye.
Cheers. This is LBC.
I found out what the generation...
How are you?
Let's have Greenwich. Hello, Sarah.
Oh, God, it's like listening to a conversation of grumpy old men.
Yeah.
It's really quite depressing. You know, that TV programme. I'm reading the book now. I'm reading Grumpy Old Women. But
right, well, see, it's a successful format.
Yeah, but I'm starting to agree with all the grumpy old women.
Yeah, well, they're all right. Yeah, they're correct.
But it's frightening.
Well, it's just called getting wiser. I was going to say growing older, but it's just getting wiser.
Oh, I don't like being wise.
Experiencing more of life and realising that everything's awful.
Oh, God.
I was right as a teenager. Everything is dreadful. Just look around.
You know
People
what?
everywhere.
You've got to stop moaning about the weather, Nick. It's not good for you.
Moan.
I nearly called you Steve then. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's been pleasant lately. I haven't moaned about it lately. It's been nice. I've enjoyed it. Been out there till midnight on the balconette.
Check you out of your balcony. I don't even have an inch of grass.
Oh, well.
Lucky so-and-so. I go to the park if I want to get some fresh air.
Well, you must insist on some outside space next time you move.
I'm a student. I can't afford.
Well, listen, with the way the economy's going, they'll be giving houses away in Chelsea by the time you move next.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So you have to think about it this way. Winter is actually quite nice.
What?
Winters are lovely because it's nice and cozy inside. It's raining outside. Just put the TV on, have a glass of wine. You're like,
well, that sounds like summer to me.
No.
Put the TV on, have a glass of wine. It's cosy.
No, but seriously, just buy a nice fleece and you'll be happy.
Well, I'm going to get an electric blanket.
Are you?
Yeah.
You have the best night's sleeping in an electric blanket.
No, I'm going to have an electric blanket and sit outside in it.
Why?
Because it'll be warmer.
You yourself if it starts raining.
Well, I'll go in if it starts raining. My head will detect that it's raining first before the rain actually gets to the blanket. I'll be way ahead of it.
If you fall over and then...
Oh, God, it's like having a conversation with my mum.
Shut up. It's not something like that. Seriously, what if you electrocute yourself?
Yeah, well, then I won't be coming into the show anymore.
Oh. All right, you have to get Lucy to do a show then.
yeah, Lucy can step into the breach.
But it'd still be grumpy, wouldn't it? It would be, ooh.
Yeah, cheer
I
up,
kind
Luce.
of like it like that, though. It's kind of nice to have some people just moaning a bit.
Well, as long as it's funny, as long as it isn't just people moaning, I mean, who would want to listen to that? But if it's funny, yeah.
And you are quite funny.
A little bit,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to suck up to you or anything, but you're right.
Every now and again, yeah.
But honestly, winter's great. It'll be good. It'll be Christmas soon. That'll be nice.
Well, it'll be... I'm sort of looking forward to, the fireworks.
Well, oh, that's my favourite time of year.
I'm going to be sitting under my electric blanket looking at the fireworks. Very much looking forward to that.
Well, as long as you don't electrocute yourself, just stay safe, okay?
Yeah, okay, Mum, yeah.
All right.
Thanks a lot, dear. Cheers. Ta-ta. Here is, who should we have?
5.
We better have 5? Really, you're going to keep the one from America hanging on? Who's paying for that call?
They are at the moment.
They are? Oh, well then. Screw them. Here's, Dartford. Hello, Betty.
Oh, hello.
Betty!
Yeah,
How are you?
time. I don't suppose you heard the best of at 5 o'clock this morning.
The best of what?
The best of all of you. Because the best of you was, you remember, was it last Tuesday or Friday, your birthday, and you had the blue T-shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now.
The right on. Well, it was given to the wrong presenter. The real Mr. Right, who's always right, is Ian. He won't speak to me anymore now.
Oh, of course, you're not on that still, are you, Betty?
No, well, he won't. But he was on. The best of him was his argument with Paul at Greenwich. And several months ago, he came on one night, and he was so adamant that nobody gets milk delivered. Well, I've been in my bungalow 50 years this month, and I have milk delivered 3 times every week.
Right, Betty, you're going to have to stop taking Ian's so seriously. He says things for comic effect.
No, it's not.
It is, believe me.
Chris has made me hold for twice for an hour, and he won't phone me.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah. And you know I'm disabled and housebound, and I come to bed every night at 8 to listen, and now I haven't got him to talk to, so I thought, oh, well, good. When I heard you were coming on at 10 tonight, I thought, oh, well, he's wrong, because we do get milkmen delivered.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows that. He just said it, as I say, for comic effect. Just to get people angry and phoning up.
No, he's changed. He's changed.
He's changed.
Yeah.
He used to be such a nice boy.
Yes, and when he was supposedly in Marrakesh, and it was my 85th birthday in May, which is...
Oh, really? Happy birthday, Betty.
Yeah, he sent me the most beautiful bouquet.
Did he?
Yep.
Well, see, he is a nice boy.
Yeah, but now he won't talk to me.
Oh, well, time will go by, and he'll forget it, and he'll talk to you eventually, I'm sure he will.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, then,
anyway.
you've... I don't know what to say, really.
No.
It's not my argument. Why you put me in the middle of this? It's got nothing to do with me.
I was only telling you that the blue jumper with Mr. Right should have gone to him.
Right. Okay, well, I'll wash it and press it and pass it on, all right. Thanks a lot, Betty.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, cheers, my dear. Ta-ta. What a nice lady.
Right, so what are we doing?
Carol, we're doing, I'm emotionally disturbed because Betty called me last time I was on the air and she was talking about this, Barney that she was having with Ian, and I feel like we're in a car park outside a pub and I'm holding Betty's coat going, don't do it, Betty, it's not worth it.
It doesn't help when you don't really know what the argument's about.
I've got no idea, no. But I'm sure that, whatever it is nothing really and it'll all blow over.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Because Ian is, he's a great bloke, and he just says things for comic effect, like I keep saying over and over and over again. I'm using that same phrase on and on and on and on and on. Oh, I felt like I was in the middle of something. I didn't know what was going on. He spilt her pint, something I don't know.
You're like a UN negotiator.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Peacekeeper.
Yeah, step aside, Tony Blair. I'll, let me have a crack at the Middle East.
Oh, look at the time already.
Good grief. Where did that last hour go?
It whizzed by.
What did we discuss? What important issues
I
of
haven't
the
written
day?
any of it down
Actually,
today.
we discussed a lot of important issues of the day. We discussed the weather. Who doesn't want to talk about the weather all the time, right?
Sarah doesn't.
It's true. And we talked about
Feet on the seats.
Feet on the seats. That's right. And crime in general, and how to deal with the youth gone wild. You know, what are you rebelling against? What have you got? That sort of thing. And in essence, it could all be boiled down to 2 words.
Be polite!
Nick Abbott.
Hey.
So have you been watching The Sopranos? Everyone should watch The Sopranos. It's the best thing on television, bar none. And I think you could probably put the word ever in that sentence. It's the best thing that's ever been on television. I firmly believe that.
That's a big
It makes
shout.
everything else seem silly by comparison. I've sort of given up on Heroes. It's daft, that show. It's turning into another Lost. Nothing ever happens.
Is that like cross between Doctor Who and Animals?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's, everyone's got a special power. I mean, it sounds daft just describing it. And I've also given up on Studio 60 Sunset Strip, or whatever that's called. That's turning into like a women's thing. Very boring. So there's nothing good on anymore. Larry Sanders, I've seen that over and over and over, so I can't watch that anymore. Third Rock from the Sun, I still watch that because it's still the thing that makes me laugh the most on telly, even though I can speak the script along with the actors. I've seen it so often.
What about some of the dramas that we've got on?
Well, there's no sitcoms anymore. You need a half-hour funny injection in the day, and there just aren't any, are there? There's no new sitcom that's come on that's been amusing since they made Frasier. That's terrible. I mean, I don't even expect British sitcoms. I mean American sitcoms. You know, the ones that are actually funny. French and Saunders. I tried that last night. That was deeply unfunny from start to finish. That was embarrassing. It was supposedly the best of, but good grief, that was bad.
What else is there?
Well, there's nothing.
That's really sad,
It
isn't it?
is, yeah.
We should be able to turn on the TV most nights, I think, and say, what's funny on that I can watch?
Yes, quite. That's not just a repeat.
Yeah. And I think we all need a good laugh, actually.
Well, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? Yes, it's right.
Especially if you've just been sitting in somebody's muck after they've scraped their shoe on your seat on the way home.
Quite right, yes. But The Sopranos gives you almost unbearable tension, because there's going to be some instant level of ultra-violence at any moment. You never know where it's going to come or who's going to be dealing it. And but it also is very funny as well. Did you see it on whenever it was on E4?
No, I watched. We were given the box set from the first series.
Right.
I watched the first one.
That's it.
That was it. Just
Oh, well
literally
done.
Literally the first episode.
Well, I suppose you'd have to. What were you going to say, Alex?
I was just going to say, is the violence shocking, or is it just so stylishly done? Like,
No, it's not very stylishly done at all. It's sort of realistically done.
Right, because I'm thinking like...
Which makes it much more shocking.
In like Goodfellas,
yeah,
it's that whole film is just so stylish. You kind of admire the violence almost.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. But no,
this
it's
is more realistic.
Yes, it's because on TV and in films, violence never really has an effect. It's all cause, no effect, and I think that's partly why kids are going around shooting each other, because they think, well, nothing really ever happens. You know, it's not horrible and bloody and you know, ick all around. It's
Unless
just
you watch
clean.
Kill Bill, of course.
It's like James Bond. Everyone just falls down clean. Unless you watch The Bill.
Kill Bill.
Oh, Kill Bill. Well, it doesn't get more stylised than that. That's cartoon violence.
That's very bloody, though.
Well, yeah, but it's of a cartoon nature where you just can't take it seriously at all. It's just silly. It's funny, almost.
Yeah.
But there's a character who I believe is based on Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, and Joe Pesci was this sort of short psychopath who you never knew was when he was going to fly off the handle for no particular reason whatsoever, and he had this brilliant scene where he tells a joke of some sort, and one of the guys says, "You're funny." And he says, "Funny, like a clown, like I amuse you," and he goes on and on like this, and you think, "Oh God, he's going to shoot someone at the end here." But it's just all. But the tension is there. You think that there's about to be massive violence, but it doesn't actually come. There's a guy in The Sopranos who I think's sort of based on. Very short and is a psychopath with almost no forehead at all. He's got hair and then eyebrows. There's nothing in between. And I think he's been away in prison or something like that right at the beginning of the programme. I won't. If you haven't seen it yet, I know it hasn't been on Channel 4 yet. These are the last 9 episodes. I won't give anything away. This is just one line. Hang on a minute. It's one line, and he's just come out of prison, and one of the guys says, "Oh, you look fantastic," and he says, "What, like as in science fiction?" That made me laugh out loud. But I suppose you had to have been there. Now, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, if I was to watch it now, should I watch it from the beginning, or could I watch it now from the new series? Would it matter?
Yeah, I think you should watch it from the beginning.
Okay.
Be respectful. Here is Burton-on-Trent. Hello, Aid.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, I got your birthday card today.
Blimey,
I know.
You're really doing well over it.
That's the post for you. Yeah.
If I send you next one about June.
Well, send me a Christmas present now.
What would you like?
What have you got? I'll have 2 of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I better go back to do some more work then.
Yep, off you go. Snap on your rubber gloves. Yes, Aid?
Yeah, well, first of all, the sitcom thing. Do you see that chronic thing on a Friday with Nicholas Lyndhurst?
Anything that's got... I believe... I read a review of... He was in some stage play recently, and he had rave review... Oh, no, wait, Nicholas Lyndhurst. Oh, I'm thinking of Robert... Lindsay?
Yes.
Yeah, Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Yeah, Nicholas... Here's the gawky one who used to be Rodders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, is the answer to that question.
Well, you don't want to.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a big sort of fan of the guy, but I do like in the sort of Good Night, Sweet Home, Horse and Horses roles he played. And then this, although you want it to be good, it's rubbish.
I think you can almost offhand discount any British sitcom that comes along. They're all rubbish, with very, very few exceptions. Spaced, was that a sitcom? I suppose so.
No.
That was very good.
I couldn't go into that. It might give me, well, this is how long ago it was. It's a video over the DVD.
Right, well, did you ever go out clubbing, crashing, banging, slamming action? No?
No.
Well, then you won't get Spaced, because that's for the clubbing generation. That's for people that used to go out till 5 o'clock all night with their eyes out on stalks, and then suddenly couldn't do that anymore, and that was for those people.
I'll give it 5 minutes, and I thought, no.
Yeah, not for you.
But, did you ever get around to watching that DVD? I suppose you didn't, did you?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I will.
Do you think anybody's actually live long enough?
Well, when you got your PVR, your Sky Plus box,
yeah,
you find that it's a constant battle to watch everything before it fills itself up, and so there's never enough hours in the day.
It can take over your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I do feel as though it is actually a task that I have to complete every day now, just to keep it away from full.
Yeah, because when it used to, some people aren't going to believe this, but we used to use videotape.
Yeah.
And when you used to have to look for videotape, I actually can't be bothered to look through videotape to record something, so you just won't bother.
Yes, that's right.
But, no.
But nowadays, I mean, I must have 20 films stacked up on my little machine under the TV. I'll probably never get to them, but you do feel a tremendous... You remember the sense of accomplishment that you got when you wrote an essay? It's something you really didn't want to do, but when you'd finished it, it was like, oh, this feels great. When I get back to 10% left, if it's as much as 10% free on my machine, I feel just the most tremendous sense of accomplishment. Because if it's under 10%, I feel as though I'm not keeping up. How ridiculous. I've become a slave to the machine under the telly.
But that an album by somebody, Slave to the Machine, or?
What?
I think, was that an album, Slave to the Machine?
What?
Slave to the Machine, was that an album?
A Slave to the Machine. Yeah, it was Grace Jones, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's what I was going to talk to you about. I was listening to, quite an old show from another place, not you.
You did what?
I was listening to an old show on the World Wide Web of yours.
Right. Do other people have difficulty understanding what you're saying, or is it just me?
You've got to understand it. It's so exciting talking.
Right, okay.
Yeah, anyway, you couldn't believe that somebody hadn't heard of Steely Dan.
Steely Dan? Yeah. How could someone not have heard of Steely Dan?
Well, that's what I thought. I mean, mate, I've asked around a few people, and all my mates have not heard of Steely Dan. I said, what's Steely Dan? Is it some sort of, weird sort of group?
No, very unweird. They're a little bit jazz and a little bit rock and roll, and very, very
groovy.
Yeah.
And it's not just Steely Dan. They've not heard of Leonard Skinner either.
Leonard Skinner.
Is it Leonard?
I think it's Leonard. The clue is in the title of the first album, pronounced Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, I see.
After their old teacher, who used to be called Leonard Skinner. That's where they got the band name from. Well, you want to these people. You need to send them where I work at the other place.
Yeah.
And I will educate them at no expense.
Yeah, because it's probably a cliche like Eagles, you think Hotel California.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner, you think of Freebird.
That's right.
Whether that's, actually your favourite track or not, that's what you think of.
Yeah. Well, as long as you've got some sort of signpost to what it is that they do, then it's a start.
Yeah, because I've heard of a lot of things that you're into. Plus, but I've never been into one particular type of music myself.
Well, no, it's ridiculous to restrict yourself just to one type of music. It's you're closing yourself off to all manner of experiences. Jazz is great. Country and western is sometimes quite good, although I hesitated slightly when I said that.
As long as it's not the depressing stuff.
Well, I don't know. I quite like the depressing stuff.
Well, my dog is dead. My wife's left.
Yeah. Well, everyone can relate to at least some of that. And, old rock's good, new, there's just, there's no end of good stuff.
Well,
some Arabic music is quite good.
No,
it is.
Well, lots of kids,
except French. French music is rubbish. Even the French would say so.
Yeah, but luckily we don't have to listen to that.
No, we don't. But the French do. I think it's the law. Their radio stations have to play something like 50% French music.
You just move, wouldn't you?
Yes, 50% French music, 50% Michael Jackson. That's what they have over there, yeah.
Or listen on the web.
That's right.
Most kids, well, I don't know what was a kid, I don't know, it's a long time ago now, but they're collected records, like, at one particular time. I can leave people that, I'm ashamed to admit it, like, had Kylie and Jason Donovan and stuff.
Oh, God. Afraid to... I would, if that was true, it would never have crossed my lips. I would keep that in, not only in a physical cupboard, but in a mental cupboard as well.
It wasn't me, you understand.
Yeah, sure.
I swear
Just never go there again, Aid. Promise me that you won't. Anyway, I've got to go. Yeah, that's an admission too far.
Yeah, and Nick,
yes.
You remember what is on next Tuesday, don't you? You haven't forgotten.
Yes, it's Given is on. I'm a celebrity. Ask me a question.
I'd watch that.
What is it?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire? And I'm on next Tuesday while that's on.
I thought you were going to say he was on Millionaire.
No, I'm not a celebrity.
She follows the BBC Breakfast News people. So that.
Oh, does she? Right. Well, I'm keen to find out how she does. All right. Thanks a lot, Aid.
Yeah. Okay. Speak to you soon then.
Ta-ta. Yeah, Carol Gibbon from this station and from Loud Women, or whatever that's called.
Lose?
Is on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing on Tuesday while I'm on, because I'm sitting in for Ian Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, I'm going to. I hope to have it on and comment on it throughout. We'll be answering the questions before she does, hopefully. And I was talking to her the other day about this, and I suspect that she did rather well, because she insisted not only that I saw how she did, but how the people following her did as well. And it's one of those dullards off BBC. What's his name? Jeremy Joseph somebody. I don't know.
Fine.
Yeah. And he's on after her, and he's supposed to be a giant brain, right?
Right.
He's supposed to be an actual proper journalist who knows everything. And so I suspect that he did worse than Carol did, just because she told me to watch the whole thing. So I'm quite looking forward to that. You know Carol, don't you?
I know a lot about lots of things.
Yeah.
Here is Hendon. Hello, Jake.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I'd just like to agree with you, what you were saying about The Sopranos. Definitely got to be one of the best things on TV, ever.
Ever, yeah, it really
Ever.
is.
I do agree with you. I've watched it quite a few times. Most of the episodes are pretty sad, but... Also, a piece of information, what you were saying about that scene with Joe Pesci.
Yes.
The funny thing is, before they did that scene, Joe Pesci actually went up to Martin Scorsese and said, I'm going to do something that I think is good for the scene, and just continue rolling. And actually nobody knew what he was going to do.
Really?
Continue with that joke.
Huh.
That joke, yeah. So if you look at it, that's where all that tension comes from. It was done in one take, and they had no idea what was going on. Only Joe Pesci knew.
Right.
And they just continued filming. It was pretty good. That's what I read up anyway.
Huh.
And that's one of the most memorable scenes out of the whole movie.
In cinema history, yeah.
Yeah, in cinema history. And he just did it off the cuff. He just thought I have a good thing to go for.
There's been a lot of things kind of like that, hasn't there? A lot of what Marlon Brando did in Apocalypse Now was just him doing it. And you see Apocalypse Now and you think that's the definitive version, almost the only... You think it's the only take he ever did. And then you see the outtakes and it's just him sort of mumbling and...
Right, right.
Horror, you know, all that.
Right.
But I think he was just sort of just trying things out.
Right. I do agree. But again, on British TV, I pretty much don't watch anything bar The Office, really.
Yeah, and even that is... I really enjoyed it the first time, but on subsequent views, it sort of I don't know, there's just something a bit... It's a bit... it repels me a bit.
But I think that was the point, though, wasn't it, though?
Right, yeah.
But the only thing that was good about the extras afterwards is because he had all those stars. If you take out the stars...
Then you got no show. Yeah.
You've got no show. That was the only thing, that he was so big from The Office and he was able to do that.
That's right. Thereby ensuring his success.
Right. Let's see where he comes up next.
Yes. If I were him, I wouldn't lift a finger for the rest of my life. I wouldn't. I wouldn't leave bed. I'd have assistants roll me from one side to the other so I didn't get sores.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jake.
No worries.
Cheers. Ta-da.
Bye.
So. Joe Pesci made that. I want to see that film again now, just to experience all that again. Do I make you laugh? I'm funny like a clown. Did you see that, Luce?
No.
No?
No.
It's a bit of a boys' film.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I know, I don't know. I'm a bit rubbish on my films, to be honest. I'm one of those awful girls that can keep watching films over and over again.
Like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I've watched that lots of times.
What? Dirty Dancing?
But my favourite one is the Jim Carrey one. That's the one I can watch over and over again. And Moulin Rouge, I love that as well.
Jim Carrey, what, The Mask?
No, I like that too, but I like the one where he's being followed, or The Truman Show.
Oh. Well, nothing really happens in that film.
No, I think he's actually really good, it's really good acting from him in that. I like that. You see different sides to him. He's not just being the kind of goon all the time.
Lucy and Jim sitting in the tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Hello, Trixie.
Hello. Well,
how are you?
Certainly cheering me up a bit today.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah. There's Goodfellas. Is that the one where they buried the woman alive?
No, that's Kill Bill.
What? No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not Kill Bill. It's one of the Godfather-esque movies.
Where they bury a woman alive?
Well, yes, they bury, it's a vendetta. And, they bundle a woman into the coffin. This is instead of, that's going to take their revenge, on one of their...
I don't remember that.
It's either in Goodfellas or there's that other one that came out about the same time.
It does happen in Kill Bill, though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
Kill
in
Bill,
Kill
yeah.
Bill. I've never seen Kill Bill.
Oh, it's very good.
No,
Number 1 is better than number 2.
Yeah, no, the reason I remember watching it in Goodfellas because I was trying to get the accent. And I watched a couple of movies to try and
Yeah,
get
I've heard you try the accent, Trixie. Believe me, you didn't get it.
Fine. I'm not even going to try.
I'm very
In
relieved.
fact, I'm going to be one of those people that speaks impeccable English, the kind of person that never speaks it nowadays.
Right. Okay. Well, as soon as
Which I
you
do already,
as soon as you start doing that, then you let me know. All right.
Thank you. I shall let you know.
Okay.
I still haven't watched TV, and it's been over a month now.
You haven't watched TV for a month?
No.
Well, you've missed nothing.
It's because there have been too many repeats on. I've only got Freeview.
I don't mind repeats. Repeats are the only thing that's
but I thought
good on now.
The problem is because I had Sky in the previous place I was living in, and you see everything on those all the other channels, and then you realise when you get Freeview, they sort of filter down from the Sky channels, and you've seen them over and over again on those channels, so you think, oh no, here we go again. So what I'm doing, I'm just forgetting all about watching television, catching up on music, catching up on DVDs.
Books exist.
Yes.
Pick up a book.
Yes,
I can't remember the last time I
know,
read a book.
I
How
know.
can you read a book when you
Because
keep
the reading
your
I'm doing...
PVR machine keeps telling you to watch me.
I've got
It
books.
says.
I do have books, yes. But I'm reading the internet at the moment because I finally found out.
What's that?
That is wrong with me.
What's that?
Apparently.
No, what's that?
Well, apparently my...
What was that noise, Trixie?
That was my voice going funny.
Right, okay, there it goes again.
No, it wasn't an American accent. There is something wrong with my parathyroid.
Right.
I love that. Dead silence the other end. You don't really want me to explain.
No, probably not, no.
Exactly. So I've been reading up about
In fact, I'm very upset that you even brought it up.
Oh.
Whatever it is.
Fine, I won't mention it again then. I'm getting on track as to what's wrong, so that's good. What else? Yes, I've been going through the newspapers, and I don't think we wish to discuss what's happening.
Anywhere, on any page. No, you're
Oh,
right.
all right.
Particularly on the front page.
No, about the...
Don't even mention it.
No, exactly. It's sad.
Right, okay, well, you're leading us down the wrong path here, Trixie.
I am, aren't I?
got to
and
go.
I'm very sorry,
All right,
but I know what happened at the end of...
And there we...
because I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, good.
Because
I'm going to cut you off just in case you do. It's like one of these people who says, I won't spoil it for you, but at the end, Tony Soprano is a woman. No one had any idea. You got to keep watching, though. I mean, I've seen them because, as I mentioned frequently, I knew that somebody would spoil it for us, and they will. Before you get to the end, someone will try and spoil it for you. They'll say, even the guy who introduces it, and on today's show, it's the big finale, and okay, and he'll just tell you what happens. And so I had to watch it all before it got here. And it's the best thing that's ever been on TV. I absolutely guarantee it.
Well, there you go. I might have to give it a go.
Yeah. But watch all of them first.
Okay. That'll take me... how long?
A long,
Ages.
long time, yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I'd quite like to just start it now, but you think it wouldn't have the effect.
No, you have to...
you have to learn the
characters, yeah. You have to get comfortable with you know, who's who, yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to be... It will take a very long time, because in this country, a season of dramas, at most, will be 6, won't it? I mean, it's all they can manage. In America, it's 24. 24 a year. Well, that's what they used to do Friends with. I think that's what they do everything. A season in America is half a year. That's what they have to come up with. Faulty Towers, 6. The Office, 6. Our great series, that's all we can manage. And then the writer just collapses in a heap, yeah.
Isn't that because it's like one bloke in his shed here?
Exactly, yes.
Not 30 people
no.
rotating on each show.
That's right. They suck the funny out of them, and then leave them a shriveled husk of a person by the roadside as they carry on regardless. Yeah, but it creates art, doesn't it? And that's how they get it done, which is why all the excellent drama is coming from America now.
Wasn't there one? Is it The Shield that's supposed to be excellent as well?
Yes, I've avoided it. I think at the time I was watching 24, and I think I was trying Lost as well, and there was just too many, and so I just didn't. It's one that sort of passed me by.
There's your next one when The Sopranos ends, then.
Yes. Well, I doubt that I think it'll probably be a long time before anything that well written comes around again.
In the meantime, you'll have to watch celebrity shows.
Well, no, I won't. I'll have to pay for the sports channels again.
Oh.
By the way, we've been mentioning Sky a lot. Other satellite providers are available. That's what I was going to say, but you know what? No, there aren't. There's only that one. Otherwise, you have to get cable.
Nick Abbott.
We love you long time.
And I really mean that. There was a tribunal a little while ago of a woman who was a copper at the airport, and she was supposedly handed out of her job by sexist colleagues. Do you remember that? And I didn't follow it. I don't think the papers actually followed it very much. We didn't get the result of what actually happened. But while it was going on, the details of various shenanigans that were going on at the airport were revealed.
Between staff?
Yeah. Armed cops patrolled the airport, spying on sexy mums, a tribunal was told. This was, I've been carrying this around since, oh, blimey, the 1st of the month. Male officers allegedly used their radios to report sightings to each other using the code MILF. For mothers I would like to, very bad word indeed.
Bleep. Bleep.
The term GILF was also said to be used for attractive grannies. This isn't just security guards. These are those the police who wander around with the submachine guns. The claims came during a woman firearms officer's sex discrimination claim against the police force, which guards the airport down there. One police officer said that he heard the comment, but not at work. The tribunal has heard claims that officers watched X-rated TV on duty, faked reports, slept on the job, and left guns lying around. There was one of them that left a submachine gun in the cafe. How can you miss that? Like, it's on the table. Presumably the tables aren't banquet-sized tables. They're relatively small. How could you get up from the table and leave your machine gun?
I've forgotten the gun.
There's no such thing as security at the airports. There's no such thing as security at the airports. It's a charade, just to make us feel better.
That should be like looking after a baby. You don't just leave it.
You'd think so, yeah. But all of that queuing and the rules and the regulations and all of that, even the POTUS himself, the President of the United States of America,
Absolutely.
who's down in Australia, and Australians are putting up the biggest security cordon that the country has ever seen, because it's here, it's Bush and various assorted world leaders. I can't remember what their big conference is about at the moment. It's probably nothing at all. It's just getting around for a George or yeah, showing each other furniture catalogues and seeing who's got the most expensive desk, that sort of thing. But a TV crew from an Australian comedy show pretended they were in a motorcade. They had the big fancy car at the front when they put flags on it, and they had a few cars behind them. And the guy was inside dressed as Osama bin Laden. And they were just waved right through.
Oh dear.
And that's supposedly the biggest, the most tightest security cordon that Australia has ever put together. And it happens here on a regular basis as well. Somebody, when they're feeling bored, will nip in, have a sandwich sitting on the Queen's bed.
Waiting for her.
Yes.
How grey was his beard, though? That's the key.
Oh, well,
maybe it was a little bit too grey.
It was old Osama.
Oh, right.
Well, I'm flying, in a week and a half or so.
Really?
Oh, no!
Good luck.
And I don't know what to take to the airport. Maybe I should just take an overnight bag. Is that all you're allowed these days?
as long as it can fit in one of those little freezer bags that have got a ziplock on the top, it'll be fine.
I mean, are you allowed to bring... What can you bring? I don't know.
I think it differs depending on which airline you're flying and which airport you're flying from. I don't think anybody has any idea anymore.
You can probably check it all before you go. It's probably all on the website, is it not?
Where are you going?
Philadelphia.
PA. Oh, yeah, I keep asking you that question. You keep telling me the same answer over and over. It's like, I don't listen to this show.
Record,
yeah. Right, well, you're going to America. Well, you're screwed then.
You've
got a beard. Yeah.
I'll be on the CIA rendition flight before I know it.
They'll be wrestling you to the ground before you can get to the plane. They'll never let you in. You'll be invited to hop up onto the table there, hands and knees, and try to relax.
And while they slip on their gloves.
Yes.
I've still got a visa, an American visa, in my passport that's still valid, so...
So will you come back?
He'll come back on the very next flight. He's not getting in. No, seriously, you should... I would shave if I were you. Smarten yourself up a bit.
Wear a suit.
But there is no such thing as security. I mean, people on a slow news day, a tabloid newspaper will just send some journalist up to have his picture taken in the cockpit of a plane that's sitting on the tarmac. And there's nothing that anybody would do. And they say, oh, this is a one-off breach of our security, and we've got the best policies, in place in the world, and this would never happen again. And furthermore, we want to prosecute you for we have got no idea how you get past our excellent cordon. And it's just a lot of old rubbish. Anyone can wander around anywhere they like, because there is no such thing as security, because it all comes down to human beings, unfortunately, and we're a bunch of dopes. We disgust me.
But you got a good deal to Philadelphia, didn't you?
Well, it wasn't bad, except the taxes and charges were more than the actual ticket itself.
Right. Who are you flying with?
The wonderful national carrier.
Not that one.
Yeah, the one that, always never loses your bags.
Oh, that one. Oh,
yeah.
They're excellent. I love their tail fins.
Yeah.
After Maggie gave them a going over, they reverted back to the flag.
Yeah.
Hurrah! Actually, I quite like those tail fins. BA was experimenting with all those weird and wacky because they
funny
didn't.
Colours.
Yeah, well, funny colours and representatives of different tribes of the world. I think that's what it was, wasn't they? They were going for. They were trying to include a lot of tribes who live in huts who would never dream of taking a plane. The big metal bird in the sky. What's that? They're saying themselves. And so they were trying to include, those people. Why? Well, because, why? Because a lot of people that they hired through The Guardian said it would be a good idea. And Maggie Thatcher put her handkerchief over the tail fin of one of the models when she was visiting the airport.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And they had another think.
There's a nice tartan one, I think, as well.
I actually quite like them, but apparently it was difficult for pilots to recognise what the plane was, because they just go on colours and shapes like everybody else does,
Right.
Everyone can tell who Emirates is and Qantas, because it's got the bouncing thing on it. But nobody could, because I think the guy in the big bubble on a stick at the airport, what do you call that? Control centre.
Yeah.
Control tower.
He would say, well, you're in next after the BA plane. And then we got BA plane, which one's that? Meanwhile, he's sliding off the runway, heading into departures.
Do they actually have to look for the planes in front?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Do you think? It's not all... Because if it's all on their computers, it just comes up as another plane, does it not?
And they do tell them, the pilots, like they'll say follow such and such airline plane to take off or whatever. They'll say sit behind such and such.
Oh, right.
I was thinking about this the other day, watching the planes come in and over and over and over they go and over they go and over they go, and that's the screaming roar of the jet engine. When a prop plane, on the very seldom occasions that a prop plane goes over, you think, oh, that sounds so nice, you think. It's organic and warm. Whereas a jet engine just sounds as though it's a scream from the bowels of hell, doesn't it? They'll never sound good. What idiot put Heathrow to the west of London? I mean, presumably the prevailing winds have always been from the west. So you had to fly in a westerly direction to get to the airport, right?
Right.
So, when, in the earliest days of flight, there was an airport at Heathrow, that's all fair and good, because there wasn't a plane coming over every 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But when somebody decided to make Heathrow, to construct an international airport for London, don't you think it would have been a good idea to put it on the east side of the capital, so that the planes wouldn't have to fly all the way over London before they got to the airport? If it were in the East End, the only thing that the planes would be, because they have to line themselves up, don't they? Because there's so very many of them that they have to maintain a straight line from miles away so that they can space themselves out. They can't bank in and then land all in one movement.
Yeah.
They have to, get in a line from 10 miles back or whatever it is, which means that they fly all the way down the Thames. In other words, everyone in London, pretty much, hears the planes going over every 90 seconds. Very irritating. Well, it's just a nightmare. They start at 6 in the morning and it's about to get worse. Because Heathrow is on the west of London. If it was on the east, they would be lining up over marshland. They'd be lining up over Essex. And who cares about them? It's true. There's nobody living out there, really, is there? As opposed to we're packed in.
Well, isn't Stansted Airport there?
Yeah, but that's.
Wouldn't the planes be
way up?
Yeah, that's a way away. I mean, if they just put it just at the edge of the East End of London,
Are we going to put it Enfield?
Well, I don't care. In much the same way that Heathrow is on the west edge of London,
yes.
Just put it. They should have put it on the east side of London. Then we wouldn't have planes flying all over London all day long. Like I said before, I should be the Prime Minister of this country. The amount of mistakes that the people in charge are making, and it's all because they didn't discuss it with me first.
Are you trying to tell me that this is your act?
Hey, there's a new collection that you'll be very interested in. Wait a minute, I've got the details here somewhere. There's a new collection coming in loose. Kate Moss.
Oh. I thought you were going to tell me it was one I could fit into.
Kate Moss stars in Stripes as she shows off her new Topshop range. Yeah, because she's been bent over an easel for the last 6 months, fretting about the new designs she's going to be drawing.
Sketching away.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, because she's a designer of clothes like I am. The Modu's first clothing line had shoppers queuing for 8 hours when she released it in May. Really, I just give up. I really do. I actually give up. And it's all because of PR and publicity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why they queued up. I mean, none of those clothes have anything to do with Kate Moss. They just got her name on them.
She's got her own fragrance now as well.
Oh, shut up. Well, she does, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly it smells of Pete Doherty. Trailing around after her all the time, yeah. Now she hopes Moss Mania will strike again when the new clothes go on sale in the High Street store tomorrow. We've lost our minds in this country. What is it about Kate Moss? She's got no boobs, her eyes look in different directions, she's covered in spots. What is it about Kate Moss? I don't get it. Explain it to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. She's skinny, tall, and they can dress her up well.
She looks like an alien boy, doesn't she? I've got bigger boobs than Kate Moss.
But lots of men, I guess, probably do find her very attractive.
I doubt that. Alex, back me up on this.
Too skinny.
Yeah, she's like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, I mean, clothes look great on skinny women. That's unfortunate truth.
And she looks vacant in every shot that's ever been taken of her. She's got that that Posh Spice pout thing going on. Her lips are never together. It's almost as though her face is too long for her lips. They never meet. So she's got that I've got nothing going on in my mind at all kind of look, which I think is part of it, isn't it? There's nothing going on back here at all.
But then again, if you think about the job in itself, I mean, it's great if you look gorgeous and you can be dressed up, and even as a woman who loves to buy clothes, the thought of having to literally put on outfit after outfit, get dolled up, have my hair played with all the time, I wouldn't enjoy that at all. And it must get really tedious, that it must be hard to always look enthusiastic about slapping on more clothes and makeup and...
But she doesn't look enthusiastic, she just looks vacant,
But
as
that's
though she's
face.
never had a thought in her life.
Maybe she's told to have that face on her.
Well, she's figured out that that's
maybe we all
that's
look at her
that's the route to success. That if you don't actually look like you're thinking of anything,
Yeah,
people
no
will
expression.
project their thoughts onto you. She's a blank canvas.
Maybe that's quite hard. To look very
to look
blank.
vacant. I can manage that in my sleep. The collection has a focus on smart tailoring, evening frocks, fitted knits and suits. Oh, that's a relief, isn't it? For boobless stick insects. So you're going to rush out and buy any Kate Moss essentials, Luce?
No. Not after we've already discussed. I've got, sausage fingers. What else did I have last week that you told me?
I didn't tell you any of these things.
Yeah.
I was... you...
I started it.
Yes, and then I just tried to help. So why won't you be buying your Kate Moss essentials, Luce?
Because I won't fit into them.
Right.
I'd look stupid. I'm too small and chunky.
Well, she probably does, She probably does
Does she do a fat range, do you think?
She does a jewellery range. You could squeeze one of her bangles over your fat little hand, Luce. Here's the Rhonda. Hello, Rob.
Ever such a nice person.
Yes.
Anyway, another week, another death?
Who? Oh, Luciano.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been watching some of his singing recently. Opera, I guess you call it.
Yes.
And I've been thinking perhaps I should go to an opera and experience it.
Opera. Yeah, that sounds fascinating.
Boring!
Yeah.
That's the problem, it's in a different language, isn't it? I've been thinking of it as like a foreign film, but without the subtitles.
Even if it's in English, it'll sound like a foreign language. You can't make out a word they're singing.
Oh.
And most of the words aren't worth making out either. I mean, you think that lyrics of pop songs are daft. So are the lyrics of opera.
Yeah, that Nessa Dorma. I've been looking at the lyrics of that. It doesn't make much sense in English, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
It's No One Sleeps, or something like that. And I only know that because I watched the football match today, and he mentioned it during the commentary.
Yeah, well that's going to do is just an emotional song.
Yeah, it sounds great. I've got no idea what he's on about.
Yeah. But I'm guessing he's the most famous person to die since Diana. Trying to think. I'm cheerful with famous deaths. I can't think anybody else famous has died recently, as big as Pavarotti.
Well, that's an interesting thought. No, he's the most famous person to die since Princess Di. That was 10 years ago.
Ironically, he died 10 years the day of her funeral, which he was asked to sing at, but it didn't.
He was at her funeral to sing at, but he didn't.
No, he was asked. He went to the funeral because he was friends, apparently.
Right.
And was asked by.
Asked to do it.
Asked to sing, but he said no because the emotion would affect his voice.
Right.
Or something. So he died 10 years today. When I was watching that rerun the other day, and he was being carried in by two women, so he must have been quite upset. And
well, they must have been very strong.
They must have been upset as well, yeah. On two levels. Yeah, but I think he's the most... I'm saying that as in, he will be remembered.
Yeah. Well, you might be right about that. I mean, there aren't many people who are sort of famous on a worldwide scale. I'm just trying to think. There must have been somebody who was super famous who's died in the last 10 years. I was going to say Gianni Versace, but then I remember that Princess Di was at his funeral, so he must have been before.
I've also been thinking, the Diana thing, I've been thinking what's the biggest news event the past 10 years that will make, history.
What?
I can only think of
9/11.
9/11 and possibly Labour winning in 97, but probably not.
Well, I think, yeah, that was a momentous occasion. I can remember, on that day when he stalled just, so that his, maiden speech would occur as the sun was rising. And, yeah, I felt a well of optimism. I thought, wow, at last, finally, we've stepped into the light. And then, gradually, we realised that we hadn't.
You old cynic. Yeah, so this shows you what, time does, not much.
I tell you what time does is goes by with mystifying speed. I keep coming back to this notion that I am 47, and I cannot relate to that number at all. I just don't get it. I'm not ready to accept being 30 yet, and that I'm nearer 50 than 30. I just cannot. That does not compute.
How does it affect your life, though? I mean, nobody denies. I doubt you want to go into a clubbing anymore, do you?
I haven't been clubbing in ages. In fact, I think on holiday is the only time I would ever do that now, because it almost seems like it's not going out if you're if you're out already, out of the country. No, I'd much rather sit in.
Well, my friend's just turned 23. He said he's had enough clubbing now. That's enough for him. So
23.
Yeah. So come on. But there's nothing else to do really at night, so let's carry on for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm getting this. I'm looking in the mirror all the time for a wrinkle. I'm sure I can see one in my eye. But, another 10 years.
Well, in another 10 years, you'll look around and you'll see that 25 has just gone by, and you'll wonder, oh, what the hell happened there? It wasn't you, Lucy, but it was somebody else that I worked with, and we were talking about age. And I think I asked the question, when does old start? Because old used to start, when you were growing up. Your parents were old, and when they were sort of 40, that was old, right? But I think 40 used to be old for your parents.
I think it did.
In your parents' generation, because they'd gone through so much and they'd eaten so poorly, they were just knackered by the time they got to 40, and it showed. But now it's completely different. People, of 50 and 60 walk around inadvisedly in a lot of cases, in jeans, and they drive sports cars and so on and so forth. So they act like superannuated teenagers. So my question was, when do you get old? And I've never heard a better answer than what somebody said sitting in your seat a little while ago. You get old when you have children. And I thought that's actually an excellent response. That's why I feel...
Why do you automatically get old when you have children, though?
Well, you don't get any sleep.
Give up your life.
Yeah, you give up your life, yeah.
But I don't... No, but I think some people
unless you're Kate
embrace
Moss,
it so much.
Then you just keep going out.
You can afford the babysitters and nannies, can't you? But I think... When you talked about your age, you are young-minded, and you look a lot younger than your age, I think.
Yeah, about 20, 22, something like that, yeah.
But whereas I think you're right, I would probably associate your age with somebody looking older. But then maybe that's because I'm getting older and I as well, so I would imagine someone to look older.
But then you start thinking, blimey, 50, that's really close to 60.
Well, I was watching...
Is it?
And people start dying when they're 60.
No, but they don't, you see. But maybe that's half of it, you see, because you live so much longer that we can, keep our youth a lot more.
It had actually occurred to me just lately that it's like that Damien Hirst shark thing. The possibility of dying in the mind of someone that's living was, I think, more or less the title that you gave to that shark floating in Aspic or whatever it was. And it has actually just occurred to me, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to die. No!
Well,
I'm not even remotely ready yet.
That.
Yeah.
But you're not about to die, for goodness sake.
Well, I might die on this show.
You'd better not.
If the next hour goes really badly.
Don't be so selfish.
You already had the near-death experience once.
Didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, how are you feeling, Rob? Are you checking your pulse?
Well, I'm drinking a lot of green tea recently to try and look 20 for the next couple of years.
Yeah, that won't work.
Yeah, it might do. Anyway, I'll leave you with this thought about age. Pavarotti just been downstairs. I put on BBC Breakfast News. Wonderful. And the reporter said, yes, Pavarotti died. He was only 71.
Yeah, Stone. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Rob.
Bye.
Cheers. LBC.
Abbott.
It is so hard.
Life, isn't it, Joan?
Oh, hello, Nick.
Joan,
what about life?
It is so hard.
It is so hard. Well, it is so hard.
Yeah.
I can remember the first time I really felt old, and that was when my youngest sister was 7, and I'm 14 years older than her. And I was therefore 21. And one day she was talking about something, and she said, oh, but when I get to your age... And it meant I was past it. I was past the teenage bit, and I couldn't go to certain dance halls anymore because there were all kids there. And
well, when it was brought home to me, because my brother is 5 years younger than I am, and when he had his 40th birthday, that really sort of knocked me mentally knocked me sideways a bit, because I've always thought of him as a kid, you know, as just a kid. But he's 40. I thought, hang on a minute, how did that happen?
It can't be. But really, it's all a bit relative, and you have to reinvent yourself right the way through life.
Yeah. I mean, look at Osama bin Laden. He's dying his beard now. He's looking fantastic.
Look, have you ever believed any of those videos nor any of those tapes that they're supposed to have found in burnt-out houses in the middle of nowhere over the years?
I just think they're a bit boring. I don't think he's going to have a hit with this latest one. It's the same old thing over and over.
But really, I mean, they just produce them every now and again and say, oh, Osama bin Laden is now saying this.
Yeah.
So be scared again, you know? Oh, no, there's the devil himself.
He's going to stop being beastly to us if we all embrace Islam. Like, that's ever going to happen. The guy's insane.
Yeah, but why would they want to put it on the media in such a big way if, you know, if they want people to be just getting on with their lives? They don't have to do this, do they, with these things?
Oh, you mean they don't have to actually put it on and show it to us?
No!
Well, I think they actually do.
They do.
Well, I think they do, though.
Yeah, but why?
Well, because he's a celebrity. He's a personality.
He's a main thing that they can, you know, every now and again, oh, let's have a little tip.
Yeah, he's the world's biggest nutter. Every time he releases another video, you've got to put it on.
They've had a quiet day, you know, when they haven't really been worried too
It'll be on heavy rotation on MTV before you know it.
Yeah, anyway, I've got other things to worry about.
Yeah, oh, I know, don't we all?
I just thought I would change the carpet in my bedroom because there was this day.
Joan, you know what I'm worrying about?
Oh, you got to go bye-bye.
Yeah, we only got 3 seconds to go.
Right,
oh.
Goodbye.
Bye.
No one is ever safe on this hostile planet.
A triple win for England teams. You almost never hear that. We won in all three of our national sports. Cricket, football and rugger.
Hurrah!
That's just beyond credibility, isn't it?
I'm sure they'll still be moaning about it on the backs of the papers tomorrow.
Yeah, we only got 3 goals, and it should have been much, much more.
20.
That's right. No, I thought it was quite a positive performance. I'm not interested in rugby or cricket. But that we won is giving me a nice warm glow.
I didn't watch any of them.
Right, well, it comes as no surprise to anyone. You don't like sport. Do you?
It's not I don't like sport.
It's that you don't like sport.
But if I'm not around my husband, it doesn't register on my radar.
Right.
Those sports.
Well, which sports do you like?
I like tennis.
Oh, tennis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
Boring!
Hey.
I quite like the snooker.
Oh, snooker?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
That's not a girly thing at all.
I find it very relaxing to watch.
Yes, it is, yeah.
I think,
well, it's green, and nothing ever happens.
And it's quiet.
And as a child, my father always used to be on a Sunday, and I can just remember it being on in the room.
Constantly, for about 15 hours a day, yeah.
But I just associate it, I suppose, to childhood things, so...
Well, it's got coloured balls... Just slowly drifting around a green background. What's not to like about that?
Yeah.
It is quite addictive, actually, snooker. You quite get into it in much the same way that if you find yourself watching bowls, that can get quite addictive as well. I think it's hypnotic more than addictive. You just set yourself into a trance.
And it's easy to follow, isn't it? It's not... You're not having to strain yourself thinking about it, particularly.
You don't have to remember characters or plot lines or anything like that. No, you're right, yeah. Basildon. Hello, Lynn.
Hello, Nick.
Lynn.
Yes, hello. I heard you talking about age a little while ago about women, not, or even men, holding their own when they reach a certain age.
Well, no one else will hold it for us. So,
that's right, yeah. Well, I'm 71, just turned, last Sunday, actually.
You're looking fantastic.
Well, I was told I do, so I go on the internet and I have a profile picture on there.
I bet you do.
And people say to me, wow, you look good for 71. And I thought, well, good, you know.
Yeah, was a photograph taken in 1945?
No, I don't cheat. I don't cheat. I'm honest on there. I know a lot of people are not. They tell fibs, but I don't.
On the internet, I find that hard to believe.
What, people don't cheat?
Yeah. No, I mean, they do. They're telling lies on the internet.
Yeah, they do check, yeah. Oh, well, on chat rooms they do anyway.
Right.
But I don't. I don't believe in it because I don't think it's fair.
You're a silver surfer?
Yeah, I'm a silver surfer, yeah. In silver being the operative word because I have silver shoulder-length hair.
Right.
And it looks blonde when I'm on the internet, when I'm the photograph.
You're a blonde stunner.
That's what I've been called. Anyway, I wear jeans, I wear trainers, you know, when the weather is cold enough to wear those things.
Now, they're not those saggy jeans that show your bottom off when you bend over, are they?
They're nice fitting jeans.
Right.
I have the figure for them anyway.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's right. And I still drive my car, I still whiz down the road, wave to people and say, no, I don't do all that, I don't be silly. No,
you take care of yourself.
I've got younger outlook and younger thoughts, and I use the computer. I know how to work my DVD. I know how to install a printer because I've done it the other day.
Do you? Can you come over and do mine?
Yeah, if you like. When you live on your own, though, when a woman lives on her own, she has to learn to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. And so what do you put down this vigour at your age? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it's the state of mind, really, as well. You don't give in to it. But I don't have many lines on my face. I suppose I'm one of the lucky ones.
Now, is that just when you're lying down and looking straight up?
Shut up. No, that's normal.
Right.
Normal standing about and, well, having a picture taken, I don't lay backwards just to let the skin fall backwards.
Well, so, a little while ago, some woman died at the age of 108 or something like that, and she put it down to eating a bucket of salt a day.
I know, I read that.
Yeah.
It said she eats loads of salt, you know, every day and whatever, and I thought, oh, well.
And every now and again, somebody will say that, I smoke 60 fags a day, and I've been doing that for the last 100 years, and that's why I've got to the age that I am. I think that's just a coincidence.
That's not because she reached that age, no, it's a coincidence, as you say, yeah. I gave up smoking about 10 years ago. Because I'm diabetic, so, and I had a psychological block, so, I went off cigarettes and I've not smoked for 10 years.
Huh.
So, that may help to help keep the skin from wrinkling too much,
well,
but there again, I think that's coincidence as well. I think if you're born with, the good genes that help you stay looking a bit younger for longer, then I think you're just lucky.
And you're wearing those good jeans right now?
No, I'm in bed. I don't wear jeans in bed, Nick.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I'm in bed, stark naked, under the duvet.
Right, that's a little too much information, Lynn.
I knew you'd say that.
But thanks a lot anyway, all right.
Bye.
You've been an inspiration to us all. Isn't that right, Luz?
Yeah.
We have
those, what the police would describe as a GILF.
We've got a fantastic home cinema kit up for grabs in our How Low reverse auction competition, he said, moving swiftly along, trying to pretend that nothing was said just now. I didn't hear anything. Did you, Luz? It is designed for action-packed viewing. This massive screen is 42 inches wide. Well, diagonal. How big's yours again, Luz?
28.
We're looking at 10 inches.
Big enough.
Not only is it HD ready with built-in Freeview, but it looks absolutely stunning even when it's switched off. This cutting-edge plasma TV has all the latest technology, putting it one step ahead of other sets on the market. You'll get top-notch visual experiences. Images are clearer, sharper, and more vibrant. It's HD ready with built-in Freeview, giving you instant access to all of those free channels. You can play your movies and your music, and audio and video are brought to life through DTS, a Dolby Digital Pro Logic surround sound.
Yowza.
So what the thing is a plasma TV, 42 inches in diagonal, plus all the speakers that will make your home into the Odeon Leicester Square. There are 5, I think, speakers. Is that right? Left and right at the front, centre for the speaking, and the 2 at the back for the explosions. They're my favourite. To bid, text LBC plus your bid in pence to 88821. So if it was £2, for instance, it would be LBC 200 to 88821. Lines close at 2 p.m. on Sunday, i.e. tomorrow. No, today. Sunday today, 2 p.m. Bidders must be over 16. Bids cost £1.50 plus your standard network rate. See lbc.co.uk for full terms and conditions, specifically lbc.co.uk/competitions.
Orky/Dorky.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Charles Edward Arthur
said.
Yeah.
You didn't do it with gusto, but that's what you were thinking, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Carol's on tomorrow. Is she here or is she
As in
gone?
today?
Yeah, today. I've got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Is she here or is she gone?
What do you
is
mean?
she on holidays?
She's here. She's
here. Wow.
Yeah.
She's actually showing up. That's great.
Yeah. She was here yesterday. Well, no. I suppose that's now 2 days ago.
Yes.
Oh, it does get very complicated at this witching hour, doesn't it?
It was. I was coming into work and I tuned her on, and she was funny. She just makes me laugh. She is funny.
She thought about hanging around to chat to you for a bit.
She did. Yeah.
No, I mean on the air.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I did suggest it to her, but I think she had a pressing appointment.
Booze.
Yeah. Something like that. Yes. I know I don't punt for calls, but you can actually call this show. I mean, I know often it doesn't seem like you can, but you can. You can call this show. I don't really give the number out because I keep forgetting. But you can if you like.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just chit-chat amongst ourselves otherwise. But, you know, if you want to, then just go ahead. Just join E&E, right? Science has come up with a little something about what we were talking about just now, beauty. Men and women, what to each go for. Mm. And you might remember a little while ago, I gave you my impression of what the differences are. Mm-hmm. And it all goes back to caveman times. Do you remember?
Yes.
Right. Well, come to find out that, once again, I'm completely right. I'll tell you about
that T-shirt.
I'll tell you about that in a second. Let's take this one. Watford, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm just calling you about going through the airports and what you can take.
Oh, yeah.
I went to America recently, and, depending on if you're going if you're going from the UK, you can only take one bag, one carry-on, and one big bag to check in. But coming back, you can take 2 bags to carry on. Now, I only had 1 bag, but I'd gone out for a pizza. And I had some pizza there, so I had the pizza in the box, and I went through to the check-in, and they checked me through, all the way through, with the pizza.
You took a pizza to the airport?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I didn't plan to take a pizza, I just happened to go out for lunch, and in America, they always say, if you want to take the remnants of what you've eaten...
Give you a doggy bag.
Give you a doggy bag. Now... it didn't seem to me to be that strange. But then when I went through, the check-in, and I went through all the electronic stuff, they scanned the pizza, and they let me go through with it.
Right. Did they heat it up for you?
No, unfortunately they didn't heat it up. But then I walked around, and as I walked around, I got some very funny looks. And I thought to myself, this was really quite stupid of them, because who knows what was in the pizza? Clearly there wasn't a metal object in there. On the other hand, nobody checked my bag when I went onto the plane, and if I hadn't eaten the pizza, I could have put it into my bag and carried it onto the plane. Now, they didn't check if there were any chemicals in the pizza.
Well, undoubtedly there were, yeah. But probably not ones that would explode.
But don't you think that's...
Other than inside of you, with negative consequences to everyone that was sitting around.
I mean, there were obviously a few calories in the pizza, but I think that was a bit bizarre. But they allowed me to take it through.
Well, they probably don't have a protocol for that, because no one has ever tried to take a pizza through airport security before. Where was this?
This was LAX in Los Angeles. I mean, the other thing, if you're interested, I mean, that's the most... Well, I mean, basically, in America, you can take 2 carry-on bags, or at least through LAX, but you can't in this country. So, if you come from the US and you take 2 carry-on bags, when you're coming back... suddenly you've got to get rid of one, or pack it into one of the other bags.
Right.
But the other thing is, if you want to take water to the airport, you can do so, because this is the whole thing about, you can only take 100 millilitres, I think it is,
yes.
of any kind of liquid.
Which is barely a sip.
Well, yes. What I do is I take a bottle with me. I drink it before I go through customs and immigration. They'll allow you to take the empty bottle through, and then all you do is you go and fill it up when you get through. There's nearly always a water fountain somewhere at the airport. That way you don't have to keep buying their water. Because, and particularly what you find is when you go through, you'll find that they'll sell you items which you can't bring back because they're bigger than the size permitted.
Right.
Which is really stupid, and obviously they make lots of money out of you because they're selling these products which you either have to use on holiday or use up
or lose
or dump.
Well, that's how they screw you. Well, that's actually an excellent idea. Take an empty bottle of water through with you and then fill it up on the other side, and then you don't have to buy airport water.
Exactly.
Huh.
I mean, obviously, you can do this. Well, you can't. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to fill up on a Coke can, a Coke bottle, or anything like that, unless they charge you for it. So
yeah.
You can only do that with water, but at least it's one way of getting around the systems.
Right. Well done. Thanks a lot, mate.
Okay.
All right. Cheers. There you go, Alex. You just saved £1. Woohoo! Let's have Wimbledon. Fariba. Oh, musical interlude. Las Vegas. Hello, Sean.
Hello?
Sean.
Nick.
How are you?
Has he ever thought about just dumping the pizza in a trash can, then going through the metal detector?
Well, yeah, but then he'd have no pizza.
It's a conspiracy against people from Watford.
Who can't finish their dinner.
Exactly. I actually forgot what I called.
Well, you sound very laid back. Have you taken the pill?
No. I'm just at work here, getting ready to get off in about a half an hour.
Oh, right. And when do you finish work?
Half an hour.
Well, that's coincidental. You timed that perfectly. What do you do? You must work in a casino.
I do. I work around a casino, or in the same facility as a casino.
Oh, right. So anybody that's seen to be cheating, you load them in the boot of your car and drive them out into the desert, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think that's a yes.
You've said this before, I believe.
So you work in Las Vegas in a casino doing something that's very, I don't know, very suspicious that you can't actually tell us what it is.
No, it's just very boring. You wouldn't be interested at all. I hate to bring down the show. You're my favorite trio.
All three of me, yeah.
So how's your evening been?
Oh, well, you know, just doing a little show.
Yeah, that's.
You seem. Are you at work now?
Yeah, I'm at work now.
Can I suggest maybe coffee or a cola drink, something like that? You need pepping up a bit.
I do have a rock star in the refrigerator.
You have a rock star in the refrigerator?
A rock star, an energy drink.
Is that what they call it? A rock star?
Yeah, I think it's rock star.
Is that a brand name for an energy drink? A rock star?
Yeah.
I'm on about 3 rock stars a night now, man.
Yeah, but you were talking about getting old earlier.
Yeah.
When I was 25, I went to get a haircut, and I had never thought about getting old. I guess you don't when you're 25. But then, as she was finishing cutting my hair, she took the shears, the things that vibrate when you get your hair cut, and she stuck them in my ear. And I looked at her and I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, I'm shaving the hair from your ears." And that's when I knew I was getting old.
Or just hairier.
Hairy.
Really weird that you lose hair from the parts of your body that you wanted, and it starts sprouting from the bits that you don't.
From your back and from your ears.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Eventually you could you join them up. And wear them as a cape.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have to give that a try next time I go.
Yeah. Think about it next time you wake up. Yeah. So, what's life like in Las Vegas? I bet it's boring.
Yeah, it is.
Exciting place to visit, but I couldn't imagine living there.
I'll be here for another. I actually live over there. I live actually not too far from Watford.
Right. That's a hell of a commute.
Yeah, it's a bear. But
no wonder you're tired.
I'm just worn out. I stood at the metal detector trying to get a cheesesteak sub and a bag of fries through, and people were giving me dirty looks all the way through.
So in a casino in Las Vegas, do you have a lot of people wandering around just in civilian clothes, looking for ne'er-do-wells and so on?
Well, no.
Is it sort of like Disneyland, where you've got a lot of secret traps that you can just pull people away and no one's any the wiser?
No, the surveillance is usually. I mean, there's the security is marked and.
Right. On an average week, how many people do your security kill?
None. Zero.
None, really.
They couldn't spend money.
Like bullets too expensive. Yeah.
No, once they're dead, they can't get.
Oh, right, the punters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you do much gambling yourself?
No, I try to stay away from that.
See, anybody that works in Las Vegas, you'd be crazy, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's like working in a pub. You just don't want to drink.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I've worked in a pub over there. I still want to drink.
You're making me want to drink right now.
That's terrible. Next time I'll stand up and do.
Yeah, splash some cold water on your face. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I apologize for being
all right.
So boring.
Thanks a lot, Sean.
Thank you, Nick.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
All right, bye.
Well,
Does the cold water thing actually work? Do you ever blast your shower cold in the morning?
No.
Because lots of people do that, don't they? It's supposed to reinvigorate your skin.
Well, my osteopath, when I used to go to an osteopath a lot, she said that you should do that. Like a minute hot, and then 2 minutes cold, and then a minute hot, and then 2 minutes cold, and apparently it tenses and releases the muscles so that they just eventually release.
Right, release.
Does that make any sense? Well, all the tension that's in there that's making you go to the osteopath all the time.
Could you bear to do it?
Yeah, as long as the water hits your head first, I think that's the important part. Because if it hits your any other bit of you, then you start shuddering away from it. But if it hits your head first, it's almost as though you're ready for it. Does that make any sense?
I guess I've often thought about doing it, and I think, oh, it feels so nice in my nice warm shower. How could I possibly make it cold now? It's such an unpleasant feeling being cold and wet, don't you think?
Yes, but it does. It really does revitalise you, like I imagine a dip in the sea would.
Yeah, I don't fancy that much either.
No, me either. There's things in the sea.
That's even worse as well, because you've got to do it slowly.
And there's foam, and it's bran, and I don't like bran.
Does it revitalise you, or just makes you move faster because you're trying to get warm?
No, I think it probably has great beneficial health effects. I mean, we've always thought that, haven't we? We've always wheeled ourselves down to the sea for its health-giving effects, and I'm sure it's not just the quality of the air down there. It's the dipping in the cold. I mean, my osteo used to get up 3 hours before she went to bed to go and to take a dip in Hampstead Pond every morning. In the winter, she would go there. She was nuts. She was like a woman from a yogurt advert. You know, one of those obscenely healthy people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel a lot better when I went for a swim in Mauritius than I do when I go down to Dorset.
Yeah.
Nice and
I
toasty.
can imagine. Yeah, I'd prefer to go for that one every time. I don't swim in the English Sea, really.
No.
But people do, don't they?
As does effluent. Floats, mostly it does.
Don't.
Awful. Why would anybody want to go in the sea? It's icky.
My parents often swim in the sea. In the North Sea.
I think the last time I ever went to the sea was when I was in Ayanapa. Where's my music? Ayanapa, you know. One of the craziest places I've ever been in my life. The centre of Ayanapa was I don't know what it's like now, but it was the maddest place I've ever been.
Mm. Yeah, I've been there.
It was a cauldron of insanity with 10 different sound systems playing 10 different house tracks, rock concert volume, all in the same small square. It was a cacophony like I've never heard in my life.
And were they luring you with drinks?
Oh, well, yeah, everywhere, all the time, yeah. And all the bars, of course, don't have walls. They just have a roof and posts, so that the sound system blasts out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop it. It was, and yet, 100 yards away was the quietest, most peaceful and romantic restaurant I think I've ever eaten in, with the possible exception of Star Island on, not Star Island, Sunset Island, or some emotively named place like that off Key West, which was a delight. Yeah, on the beach, with a little, it was like a picture postcard restaurant. You know, you sat virtually on the beach with flames on a stick, on the sand, with the water lapping on the...
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, you'd have to take a boat to get there.
Oh, lovely.
And you couldn't go there unless you were either eating there or living there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It was great. It was worth the hassle of going all the way to Miami just to go there. Yeah.
Oh, I bet it was. Sounds divine. It's just like England, really. Yeah. Just pop down to the Thames.
In the sense that it's not at all. Yeah. But the last time that I was actually in a body of water that wasn't surrounded by tiles was in Ayia Napa, because it was a very slow slope into the sea, which was coloured aquamarine, which, in my opinion, is the colour that water should be, if you want to get in it. Not foamy brown, which is what you get here.
I didn't actually enjoy the beaches that much in Ayia Napa.
Right.
But then, were you on a very touristy beach or not?
Yeah.
Because I found them completely heaving.
Yes, it was. Well, I think I didn't go at peak time because I can't stand the sun, in between June and August. So I think it was off-season.
Oh, maybe, yes, that's probably...
But it was the first time I did that paragliding, or whatever you call it, when you get hiked along on the back of a boat. And you're standing on the back of the boat 1 minute, and virtually the next second, you're what seems like 10 miles up in the air, tethered only by a small piece of string.
Screaming, but no one can hear you.
Yeah, and some drunken guy at the front is just weaving in and out of pedalos.
Oh, don't. Just don't look down.
And I thought, it happened all too quickly. 1 minute you're standing on the back of the boat, the next you're reaching for the sky. And I thought, Struth, what happens if that string breaks? And then I thought, oh, well, I'm on the end of a parachute. I'll just float safely down to sea. So I felt better about that.
You be okay?
Yeah. And I lived to tell the tale. Aren't I a brave soul?
On out, love. I've just come to read the meter.
Big and ill. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, Nick.
Wayne.
How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
I want to talk about women.
Women, okay.
Yeah.
The birds were about to sleep.
Yeah.
Shut the door.
It's a domestic.
Okay.
Is that your dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And he said the birds want to go to sleep.
Yeah, I've got the birds in my bedroom.
What kind of birds?
Budgerigars.
Oh, right.
They sleep with me, did they?
Your dad just said to be quiet because the birds want to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. You better be quick then.
Yeah, you're right, that's right.
Off you go, mate.
Oh.
It's all become too much for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Call back later, all right?
Okay.
When they wake up.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, mate. Better luck next time. Here is, Barnsley. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Super. Thanks for asking.
Good. Apparently, I was always told, growing up, the best thing you can do to wake yourself up in the morning is to turn on a light and have a cold shower. Because when we used to wake up when we were cavemen, we woke up with the sun and the rain on us. I was always told.
And a rainbow in the distance. We woke up with the sun and the rain on us.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's supposed to wake us up.
And then we spent the day scratching and eating nuts.
Oh, I saw something horrible on the TV the other day.
You saw something horrible?
Yeah, I saw a pig being slaughtered.
A pig being slaughtered?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's how they get meat.
It wasn't nice to watch, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, meat doesn't actually come in plastic trays covered in cellophane.
Really?
It used to be part of a pig. Or something.
It wasn't wasn't very nice to watch, though. And they didn't warn you. They just showed it.
They just did it,
Yeah.
On Blue Peter. Amazing.
It was on BBC Three, actually.
On BBC Three?
Yeah.
Hey, we found someone who watches BBC Three!
Hey, I like some of the stuff that they're doing there.
I don't think I've ever watched anything on that channel. I can't think of a single thing I've ever watched on that channel.
I think it's very studenty.
Is it?
Yeah. I know a lot of my friends that watch it. But they always rerun 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps and stuff like that.
Right, that's one of those British sitcoms that I just avoid because...
That's funny, yeah. And Iron Episodes were plays.
Oh, while we're talking about British sitcoms that are and are not funny, they've been repeating The Royal Family.
Oh, that's not funny either.
Oh, come on. Now, that really is funny.
I didn't get it.
And it was, I think it was, not record-breaking, it was mould-breaking. It was a mould-breaking show, that was. It was a show about absolutely nothing at all. People sitting around just vacantly watching television when there was nothing on.
That's what happens, though.
Oh, it's just brilliant. And every time I see it, I wonder how on earth they could write that, because it's not, they don't seem to say things that people could actually write down. It's just what comes out of people. It's just a great achievement, I think.
Yeah, I don't watch that much TV, to be honest, but...
Right.
And I've never got Ricky Gervais either. I've never got him.
There's much that he does that I don't get either, but he can always say he did The Office.
Yeah. That was rubbish Simpsons episode that he did.
Worst Simpsons episode ever. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I don't know if it was because I was expecting a lot from it, but even then...
Well, just expect a smile, and there wasn't one. Yeah.
No, it was a bit egotistical, really, I think.
It was just horrible from start to finish. Yeah, I hated it. I'd be surprised if he didn't hate it too.
Yeah, but...
It was almost as unfunny as the Simpsons movie, which is really saying something.
That, yeah.
Don't bother.
Oh, I won't then.
All right.
I'll wait until the show on Sky.
Yeah, that's right. Which they will, over and over and over again.
Probably, because they're like sort of friends of Rupert Murdoch, aren't they?
The Simpsons are friends of Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
Well, inasmuch as they both they've made each other tens of millions of pounds. I suppose that would make you friendly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
If somebody gave me tens of millions of pounds, I'd be friends with them too, all night long.
Me too. Hey, I'm going on holiday next week.
Where are you going to go?
I'm going to Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah.
You're going to Egypt? Well, that's a good choice.
I know there's nothing that is about going. So I'm going to miss LBC.
Yeah, well, we'll miss you too, Louise.
No, you won't. You'll be glad.
No, I mean that you're going, but you're not coming back. So we'll miss you forever and a day.
No, I will come back. I'm nervous enough as it is about going. I hate flying, so...
Well, when you get released from capture, you send us a postcard, all right?
I will do.
Thanks a lot, Louise.
Thanks, bye.
Ta-ta. Here is Brighton. Hello, Scott.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, yeah.
I'm fine.
I was strange to hear you didn't like the Simpsons movie. I was quite a fan.
I like the Simpsons, but the Simpsons film was absolutely terrible.
I thought that was quite harsh. I thought it was worth the money, you know.
No, it wasn't. I saw it for free, and it wasn't worth the money.
I'll pay like £6, £7 to see a movie.
I'd be very upset if I'd paid £7 for a comedy that didn't make me smile, let alone laugh.
It did make me smile. I thought it was quite light-hearted,
Right, were you drunk?
What, at the time when I watched it?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't actually.
Because I was a little bit, so you thought that would have helped.
Yeah, I was slightly intoxicated, but, yeah. Well, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant.
Huh.
Are you a massive Simpsons fan also?
Yes, well, now they seem to be showing the same 12 episodes over and over again. Every day it's just the same ones, over and over and over. I've seen them all. But that can't be possible. I mean, they must have made... If there's 24 episodes in a season of American TV, and they've been on for how many years? 10? That's 240 episodes. I can't possibly have seen them all, but they're just showing the same ones again and again and again. So I haven't watched one in a good long while. But I do think it's one of the funniest, you know, as a whole, it's one of the funniest things that's ever been on TV. But the film, not so much.
No, the film, I definitely recommend Arthur if she's list.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Terrible film. No one should see it. But anyway.
Okay.
So what did you call up about, Scott?
Well, I found out basically because I'm out on the town tonight, just seen loads of yob culture in Brighton, and it's even worse in London.
Yes. Like what?
Hoodies everywhere.
Hoodies?
Yes.
Right. Well, I have no explanation for that, or I can't give you any help or succour. Try as I might. Any help in there? No? No?
She's on the phone.
You do spend a lot of time just yakking to these people. Are they calling up to talk to you?
No, they want to talk to you.
Right.
We just had George in Times Square calling me, but he thought Times Square was in London.
What?
So, yeah. So I've had
no,
a couple
you've lost me.
Well, I'm getting a couple of strange ones. So I thought it was best that I should answer a few of them.
Well, yeah, the whole board was flashing just then,
Yeah.
and you spoke to all of them, and they all went away. What was that about?
I'm ferocious. I need to be. No.
Well, I don't know. Some of the rubbish that slips through, I think you've got to... and I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Of course.
You've got to check on your quality control.
Do you think? A few more lessons.
Clapham. Hello, Marjorie.
Hello?
Marjorie.
Yes?
You're acting like I called you. How are you, Marjorie?
Oh, fine. I heard you when I came up to bed saying how old you were.
Yeah.
And wait a minute.
You have to turn the radio down, Marjorie.
Well, I'm a silver surfer. I'm 88, so you're only a baby.
Yeah. In comparison. But you can remember being a slip of a thing, 47, right?
Yeah,
And
I don't like being 88.
Well, and the difference between 47 and 88 is but the blink of an eye, am I right?
I know. I didn't mind when I was 78 because I could change it, 87, I could change it around and think I was 78.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So what advice would you give to young people who are not even considering being...
Well, no, because I accept that things are as they are with youngsters now anyway. Things are so different from when I was young.
You should get out there and grasp it with both hands, right?
Yes, and I could send you a photo of me so I haven't got any lines or anything. No wrinkles.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to that.
I don't know your line anyway.
Oh, well, never mind.
Well, is it just Nick?
Yeah, just write Nick on the envelope. It's bound to get to me.
No, I was going to send you an email with it on.
I don't have an email
Oh, you
account.
don't?
No,
Oh, right.
unfortunately
Well,
not.
get rid of it.
No. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to send me a picture of yourself.
And I think you ought to go to Las Vegas because there's nothing like Disneyland.
Well, it's
Like Sean said.
it's like Disneyland for adults, isn't it?
Well,
Mind you, Disneyland is Disneyland for adults. I like Disneyland.
Yeah, but, well, when I went in '79, it was queuing, everything was queuing, so I don't know what it's like now.
Oh, you got to get one of those non-queuing passes.
I won't be going again. I'll finish flying.
Right. Okay, well, that's probably best.
Yeah, well, it's easier to get around, well, when you can get around, but it doesn't encourage you to fly when you hear so many cancels and cancellations and things, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Are you looking forward to that, Alex? It's not the flying that's the problem. It's the smashing into the ground part that's worse. Thanks a lot, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-ta. Are you a nervous flyer?
Me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
All right.
Right, okay.
She's on the phone again.
Oh, God. Yak.
Okay.
Lucy, all you have to do is say, hello, who's calling? I'll put you on hold.
Maybe another time. Thanks
See?
for your call now.
Too polite.
Well?
Be polite!
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm not nervous. I really enjoy it. I like the scary bits, the best.
Right. Have you ever been in a plane in serious turbulence?
Yeah, when it drops.
Oh, I can't even talk about it.
When I looked out of the window once and I saw that because I didn't realise that the wings were flexible. I mean, so I suppose it's obvious, really. But they were bouncing up and down like it was a children's toy. And I just couldn't believe the engines would stay stuck on the plane. It seemed like they would just shake them off. They were bouncing up and down so much.
It makes you think that they shouldn't be there, doesn't it? Like they should be on the body of the plane, not hanging on the edges.
But it seemed as though the wings were made of plastic or something.
Rubber.
I couldn't believe the amount of flex in them.
Well,
it seemed that they were
are
just going to
designed
snap
for it.
off completely.
I know, it looks really weird, but apparently it can go to sort of nearly 90 degrees.
Get out.
Yeah, that's what I was told on my Fear of Flying course. Because that was one of the questions. Can the wings snap off?
And they can go to 90 degrees?
Nearly, not quite. They can't go to that much, but they did say to us there's an awful lot of flex in them before they'll go. I mean, they were probably trying to put our minds at ease.
You went on a Fear of Flying course?
Yeah.
Have you told me this already?
Probably. I expect so.
What was it?
Ages ago, because I'd had quite a few turbulent flights, and I became completely neurotic, crying and hysterical on a flight, scaring everyone.
Show me
else
how
off.
you'd be hysterical, Lucy.
Always good in a crisis, you are.
Get up and show me hysterical while you're dancing.
It won't work on the radio. But no, I'm not a good passenger. And
Right.
so, yeah, I often have to get moved along the plane when I'm in fits of turbulence, you know, that sort of thing. It's all a bit embarrassing and sort of get a bit red in the face. And
Are you like that in a car as well? I bet you're the sort of person who's gripping the handle on the door and pressing an imaginary pedal in front of you, aren't
only
you?
when my husband's driving.
Yes.
No, I'm fine. I'm a good driving passenger. I just not good flying.
Well, the thing with flying is, I often feel as though if I'm not sitting in my seat paying attention, then we're in danger in some way. Like when I go to the loo, I have to get out of there as quickly as possible because how can the plane continue to fly along if I'm not there? Yeah, if I'm not paying attention, if I'm like busy in the lavvy, then we're in deep trouble.
Or what about when when a lot of people collect in one area? I get really twitchy then. Sit down, you're ruining the balance of the plane. Please sit down. Because when you take off, you have to be evenly distributed in the plane. So I don't understand why it's suddenly okay to be all over the place in the plane.
Right.
How does that work? I mean, what if everyone in the plane collected towards the back? Would the plane start to...
Yeah, and it would never be able to come down. It makes you just run out of petrol in space.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling.
Feel this.
If you dream of being your own boss.
And she's not getting any better.
So, did you get any better?
I'm much better now.
Was it a hypnosis thing?
There was a bit of hypnosis at the end, group hypnosis.
Right.
Yeah, and I do think it made a difference, because now if I walk into an airport I do feel a lot calmer. And I used to start to get anxious just kind of on the way to the airport.
When they hypnotised you, what did he do?
Well, it was kind of weird, because it was like deep relaxation, but then I think I fell asleep. Or did it just carry on working? Because then when I woke up, I did feel really tired all day anyway, because we had to get up at the crack of dawn to get to Gatwick, and you have to do a flight at the end, and it's all quite traumatic, so you do kind of use a lot of energy up doing it. But some people didn't get on the plane at all, even after a whole day of having pilots talk you through everything about a plane, and you were told you could ask any question, and people did, and you sat around in a group, and you were all given a pilot or a air stewardess to talk you through everything. So really there was nothing to worry about, if you see what I mean. But
Right.
people just wouldn't. People were still hysterical even on the plane, and at that point actually I felt fine. But
See, I actually look forward to the turbulence.
why?
Well, that's crazy.
Because, no, I think it reminds you where you are. Because you get too complacent sitting up there in a tube.
Oh no, I'd like it to be smooth all the way.
But
definitely.
I like it when it first starts and things start to rattle a little bit and it goes and then nobody really everyone's hoping collectively it will go away, and then suddenly and you hear people go.
Yeah, well
across the
when you're
plane.
flying along and then suddenly you lose about 1,000 feet all in one go, and your stomach is suddenly in your mouth. That's when I like it the least.
I quite like it.
That's when I'm hysterical. We're all gonna die. and I tell everyone on the plane we're going to die, and that's when my husband's like, please shut up, stop saying this.
Well, it's when I stop concentrating fully on the plane.
Like you're flying it.
Yeah, that's bad. But it's much worse when the pilot comes out and wanders down the aisle and says,
"Want to score some pot?"
They never say anything either, do they? The plane will be going down, and the pilot never says, oh, sorry, yeah.
They only say it afterwards when you come through it. Oh, sorry about the little bit of turbulence that we just went through. We might be experiencing a little bit more in 20 minutes' time, and I hate that as well. You get a build-up. I literally sit there watching my clock, and then I say, any minute now, and I'm waiting.
Well, presumably they don't put the microphone on in the cockpit, because when you hit turbulence, there's all sorts of things going off in there that they don't want us to hear, like
Danger!
They always say, cabin crew, return to seats, please.
Yeah.
Cabin crew, and that's a bad thing.
Or you keep hearing the noises going, bing, bing, and I think, what's that? I keep checking along the aisles to see who's put steward on, and if they haven't, I think that's bad.
Yeah, the thing's going bing, and the stewardess is going... When the stewardess straps herself into the seat, then you know you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When their heads are bouncing off the ceiling, then you know you're in deep doo-doo.
It is quite amazing how they keep going, though, isn't it? Even in terrible, and they still persisting to... And I feel like saying, will you just put your trolley away and stop coming up and down here?
The one that always makes me laugh is when they do the safety demonstration. No matter how many times I fly, when they put the life vest on, I want it to be like an airplane. I don't know if you remember, where they pull the cord and the life vest inflates and it's like a duck shape. Every time I really want it to be that.
And remember not to pull the inflation cord until you're safely out of the plane, which is just smashed into the sea like it was concrete at 500 miles an hour. Yeah.
I know. I do always think that the what's it called? The life jacket. Well,
they'd be better off giving you a parachute.
And the fact is, it's a different tie-up on every plane. And in a state of panic, are you really going to remember? Oh yeah, the steward.
Well, you know what? Have you ever actually seen the life jacket under your seat? I've never seen one there. I don't believe they exist.
Well, a friend of mine, through a friend, is or was an air stewardess, and she said that they have to check that by regulations after every flight.
Well, what's the point? Has any plane ever landed at sea and people have been... I mean, you'd be upside down, in bits and on fire.
There was one famous one. I think it was in Africa. Like Air Ethiopia or something, and it landed on the sea, like by a beach. There was some famous footage. And someone was filming it on their holiday, just sitting on the beach, and this plane comes screaming over their head and lands on the water.
Wow. Yeah. There's a YouTube video that was just waiting for YouTube to be invented. YouTube. Essex. Hello, Tony.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Tony.
After listening to that conversation, Nick, I called you up to get your advice on something, and now listening to that conversation, I'm thinking to myself, I've done the wrong thing, because anybody's got a fear of flight. You've totally wiped him out. You've freaked him out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm just wondering if there's anybody out there who's got a fear of flying. They definitely are not going to get on an aircraft at all now.
Well, they're probably they're so rigid now. They can't. They'd like to, but they can't reach out and turn the radio off.
Nick, I've got something I need your advice on. I'm do DJing and karaoke.
Hey, DJ.
I've been doing it for some time now, and I've been doing it for 28 years. I used to sort of do the 70s stuff, and I used to be the DJ, the resident DJ at the Speakeasy in the Oxford Circus.
Oh yeah.
But I switched over to karaoke, and I've been doing it for a number of years, and I've just recently been asked to do a funeral.
A karaoke funeral?
I can't. I don't know how I'm going to handle it, and I just thought I'll ring up Nick to see what Nick say. It's quite sort of somber. It's one of those guys who got the friendly fire, an American bomb, and
right.
The guy's only 19, but he's obviously in his last letter he's asked to go out sort of with a karaoke party. and I've been asked to do it, and I thought, how do I do this?
Well, you know, some societies, they do have a celebration on a funeral, don't they? I mean, the
Yeah, but that's a different culture, you know. I know it's like Orleans and things, you have a different culture, but I mean, it's not something what we're used to, is it? It's not something we do.
Well, the Irish do, don't they? And as you said, New Orleans, they have a party.
Yeah, but this is a karaoke party.
Well, you know what? If it was his last wish, then I think that you should go along with it. I mean, you're not going to be the entertainment for the evening, are you? You're going to set the equipment up, and then they're going to do their thing, right?
Yeah, but you know, you sort of have to sing a few songs and stuff, and you've got to work the crowd. But how do you work the crowd? I mean, it's something which I'm thinking, you know, how would I, you know, what would you do? Do you work the crowd as normally, or do you just sort of, you know, how do you do it? I'm just thinking myself, I'm a bit worried about it.
Well, how much is it worth, Tony?
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's worth quite a bit.
Right.
I've been asked to obviously do this, and you know, I was actually thinking, shall I refuse to do it? Because I was sort of a bit worried about it, but I thought, you know, well, if I don't do it, some other poor sod's got to do it anyway, so I thought I'll do it anyway.
Well, when is it?
It's Friday, next Friday.
Well, I'm tempted to say do it, and then call me and tell me how it went.
Okay.
From hospital, I expect.
Love your humour, Nick. Love it.
All right, well, that's something you're going to have to decide yourself. I can't do that for you.
How would you do it? How would you, if you did a gig like that, what frame of mind would you be in? I mean, how would you do it? Would you have a little drink, or what would you do?
I think I'd probably start with you'd have to read the crowd. I mean, if everybody's actually crying at the time, then
yeah,
then
obviously there's going to be somber people, and there's going to be people who stand up for it, and I've got to try to get that across. So look, this is his last wish. He wants us to have a party.
Right. Well, they know his last wish. They'll all know his last wish, won't they? So I think that they'll be ready to accede to his wishes. So I think that you'll probably be all right. Start with my way, and then people will be able to do their own thing. Yeah, I would do it.
I think you should come along and help me do it.
I'll definitely do that, Tony. Yeah, watch for me at your door. I've got to go, but I'm past a break.
Great to speak to you, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Tony. But do call back and tell me and let us know how it went. All right.
Promise.
All right. Cheers, mate. This is LBC. Now, what about these calls? Because we're running out of time. Yes or no? Your call. Your decision. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no? No. Large packs of common cold and flu remedies will be banned because a chemical in them can be used to make the illegal street drug crystal meth or methamphetamine, it was announced recently. Did you read about that?
No.
Crystal meth. That's the drug that's sweeping America and causing everyone to go and shoot each other. Packet sizes will be limited to 12 tablets. This is cold medicine and affects Benylin, Contact, Nurofen, Otravine, Sinutab, Sudafed, all that good stuff that you get from Boots. Other chemists are available. Pseudoephedrine and ephedrine, which acts as stimulants and decongestants, can be extracted from the preparations to make crystal meth, a Class A drug. Who knew? You're looking very concerned.
Sounds
You've
awful.
given some to your puppy.
I have not.
There was no threat to health for people who just used the medicines containing these things, as long as they read the instructions on the pack. Always read the label. I'm on about 3 night nurses a day now, man. I just haven't got a bit of a cold at the moment, that's all.